Keep on the light.
All right, welcome back to the To Be Fair Show. I am
That's
your host,
law. That's
Johnny
another
B.
one of them laws. That's a law that Kendrick forgot about.
What's that?
If she's ugly, turn off the light. If she's pretty, keep on the light. I think that's what Tone had said. He was making up a song on the spot.
I ain't hear him. I ain't hear him. But y'all good? Y'all we ready?
You done?
Oh, I think so.
Well, welcome back to the To Be Fair Show. I am your host, Johnny P.
Over here, real.
It's Q.
And we back. Got another one lined up. Want to tell everybody before we get started to tap into the chat. We'll be reading them out as you comment. Please hit the like button, subscribe, get all our notifications. Tap in with us on all socials. That's at the To Be Fair Show. That's Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. We
live.
We is live.
Hey, shout out to all the people that be inside the waiting room beforehand. I know sometimes we might say 4:30. Sometimes it'll move to 4:45. Then it'd be like 5:10. We appreciate y'all sitting, waiting, and just working with us.
That's love.
That is love.
That's love.
It's a lot of moving parts, and we appreciate it. Johnny, toss back to you, my boy.
Well, I thought Real was going. I thought Real got something to start.
So the funny thing, man, is I had so much smoke for this conversation when I had, when I initially came up with it. I'm like, bro, I'm finna talk some shit today, boy. And then it kind of, toned down, But at the same time, huh?
I said no pun intended.
Yeah. So at the same time, I just wanted to ask y'all, brothers, are you tired of the women's empowerment movement yet? And I'll say this. I feel like women are the only of the two of us that have actual freedom and that have had the actual freedom for quite some time and still asking.
You think women have
absolutely? They have the ability to do anything. You can go to work or not go to work. You can have the baby or not have the baby. You can fucking whatever you want to do. You can the boss bitch, or you can sell ass on OnlyFans, or you can, you know what I mean? And
you think every woman can do that?
Like,
what I'm saying, no, of course, the OnlyFans thing. On the OnlyFans part, everybody can't be
everybody can't be a stay-at-home wife either.
Well, I mean, of course, but I'm saying, but it's okay for you either way. Like if your circumstances are how you want to say conducive to that decision, then you can do that, and the world is not going to give you shit about being in either of those. Like you can do the dating women has been accepted well before the LGBT thing. They've been accepted doing that shit forever. Like I think that they have way more freedoms than we do. And our boxes, we're in a box, and this is the do's and don'ts as a man, and da. But so I'll leave it there and see what y'all feel about it from there.
Well, that's too. So do you think we have more freedom, or am I tired of the movement? Because like I am tired of like any movement, because it comes to extremisms, and that's where like all the isms I get tired of eventually, because it leaves like logic and goes.
What's this ism?
Feminism. I guess this would be the feminism.
Is this about feminism? That's something different than women's empowerment.
But I would assume that the roots or the push for the women empowerment is feminism.
It's rooted in feminism. It is rooted in feminism,
right?
I don't look at them as the same though. Like when we talk feminism, that's like first wave, second wave, third wave, and they all have like different like attributes to what they're trying to get done and do.
Well, I still feel like this is like a byproduct of feminism. So instead, you said first wave, second wave, third wave. When did the third wave end?
Well, where would like the women's empowerment be? Would that be the first wave of it?
No. I think that women's empowerment ends up being a bunch of different buckets. So like Roe versus Wade would fall into like second wave feminism. Third wave would be like sexual liberation and shit like that. Like it's a bunch of different versions of how it kind of like
y'all broke this down on Unpacked, didn't you?
Yeah, we had this conversation before. But I think that women's empowerment, and if there's a need for women's empowerment still, would be different than attacking it as feminism, where I think that has its own critiques and things that are beneficial for it in general. That's how I guess that's how I would look at it. It's kind of like, to me, if we talk about Black liberation and then we start naming like FBA, Pan-African, like these different like ideologies, like in general, like the idea is Black empowerment. but the way they go about it, you would critique it differently than critiquing the overall thing. You understand what I'm saying?
I got what you're saying. I got what you're saying. So are you tired of it?
No, it don't personally don't really impact any part of my life for me to be tired of it. Yeah, I don't know. I think, but I also think that there is still a bunch of different like spaces where I could see where women's empowerment could be beneficial, or is beneficial. But for me, again, my day-to-day is not really impacted by much of anything that deals with anything women's empowerment based. So like it has no impact on me. So I can't be tired of something that doesn't impact me at all.
Okay. Well, Tone, can you play this meme for me real quick?
Yeah.
I got one in here. It's gonna be, where the fuck is it? Okay, it says women are incapable of being happy. That's what it says.
See that?
You believe that?
I do. It's always gonna be something, bro. Like me and we pretty simple. Like shit, the plate, something to eat. You know what I mean? Sex and peace. Your old lady, I've been with my wife for a long time. She'll tell you at the beginning, like, "Oh, I really want you a man that's that can take care of the house, or like pretty much bills and protect and provide." Bro, it's way more than that on the damn list. Nigga just want a sandwich and be left alone and some sex, and that's it. It's been that way for a long time.
Okay.
I think there's like a whole movement happening right now about men talking about their feelings and shit.
I ain't in tune with that. I ain't in tune with that. So
we
like,
had 1,000 conversations about that.
about what? What specific? What do you mean?
Just a bunch of different versions of men not wanting to be specifically just the whipping boy for duty when it comes to relationship, and to want to feel validated and appreciated in general from the old lady.
Oh yeah, no, but
I feel
mean,
like we've
at the end
had
of the
that
day-
conversation a bunch of times.
But what I'm saying is that only thing of course the validated and appreciated part, but that's still, it doesn't change what our role is actually. Like, so I don't know if niggas out here fighting to be stay-at-home dads. I don't know if that would change.
Well, that's
the
a
thing.
different, I guess, conversation in general. Besides, I'm saying like wants and satisfaction and shit like that.
Okay.
Like stay-at-home dad is like a very specific example.
Okay.
But
you know
nigga,
what?
go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
No, I don't think the average man is satisfied either.
At all. Yeah.
But of course, I say is
I think
Do you
people
think so?
a lot of people in general are insatiable.
It's a great word.
okay. Well,
Maybe,
go ahead.
maybe I'm just like Prince's mom. She was never
Yeah,
satisfied.
she was never satisfied.
Why do you say that?
Because women with curly hair buy a straight, women with straight hair buy a curly, women with dark hair dye it blonde, women with blonde hair dye it dark, women with big boobs they get breast reduction, women with small boobs they get implants. I mean, you can't make that species happy. If they're light skinned, they want to get darker. There is no making them happy. They got eyebrows. They shave them off and draw new ones on. There is no making that species happy. When the Almighty created woman, He created a weird animal.
Anything else?
No, I'm
Anything
sure
else?
there's more. They're incapable of being happy.
I mean, but
Why-
I think that man just don't understand women.
You think so?
Yeah, because I think women, like, happiness is a fleeting thing. So I mean, everybody's
That's-
only gonna
that's
be
a
happy
bar.
for a certain moment of time. Like, there's something you can do that'll make you happy
But there's
now,
a
but then
happiness
you're
and
gonna have to
content.
continue.
But happiness and being content is two different things. Of course, it is a fleeting thing. Happiness will come and go, but the ability to be content is something that I think that we do much more easier.
As men,
Yes.
I don't know. I feel like the entire red pill and manosphere space is built off of men not being happy or content, and they just
But
like
those-
sit online and
A lot of
complain
those
about that.
dudes, all those dudes are single. You know what I mean?
But then
Try
the
to-
other thing is that if we take it away from just like the leaders of that space, it is a huge community of people that consume it as well.
And most
they
of those
all have,
people
like,
are
had-
single and
I-
make a lot less money than the
I don't
dudes.
think
that's leading
everybody-
it.
Yeah, I think a
watching
lot
this
of them
movie.
be like married and unhappy. I think a lot of them be like in relationships. I think it's like a general sphere of things because red pill in general is not only relationship based. My bad. Is it red pill? One of the two is not only relationship based.
One of the two, what? One of-
Manosphere and red pill. But they all are speaking to the fact of men feeling unheard and undervalued and not being happy inside the way society is set up.
Yeah, but do you think that they're trying to change? Are they trying to be seen as more valuable, or do you think that they want to change what their role is in society?
But either way, they're not content with the status quo. Like, I mean, if,
And how it works
if
right
guys
now.
are going on their, like,
I think
on
that their whole
too
thing
many-
is to change how society is ran, isn't it?
I don't like
That's
the
what they're
whole
all like.
bullshit.
They talk about like modernity and modern times, and that we need to do X, Y, and Z that goes against how society is running right now. That would be an appeal to go against what is currently happening.
Our boy
Well, I
David
can't
Walker
really-
would say the
The gynocracy.
gynocracy. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, the
fighting back
gynocracy.
against
No,
it.
okay, so and that's I really think that I don't know exactly how it transpired, or maybe it was like the let's say I heard Dr. Umar say they were asking him where did the gynocracy, like where did it come from, and he was saying pretty much the attack on black men, you know, the prison and all of that stuff. Damn, I forgot the point that I was.
You
gonna
think
make.
the gynocracy, even like as an American, not just in the black community, but you think it's rooted in holding
No,
back
I was
the
saying
black man?
what this is what Umar said. I'm saying that was just quoting, or we're not
Oh.
quoting, but I was telling y'all what Umar had to say about the question that was posed to him. So do you, just to go push it on the second, push it a little bit further, do you believe that women, or do you believe that that's a false statement that I made? Women are the freest people in the country.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think it's false. Yeah, I think.
I think men hold the power.
Yeah,
People
man.
that hold the power are really the freest ones in general. They have like nuances in which they could be free, but yeah,
You think men are have the ability to be free
they hold the power.
or
Yes.
freer?
Men
Yes,
go,
yes. Like,
men,
like all industries, we control it.
for the most part, men go fight wars. That's where the freedom is literally taken and stuff. So for the most part, like you send your men as your warrior class
Because they're
and
free.
the women, but being the warrior class makes you free. Like
Yeah.
if you walk in a room and nobody can whoop your ass, you basically free. Like
but then
you-
that's
But
also
who can-
why.
what
But
do you
that's why,
mean?
like we can, like men then choose like if they have reproductive rights and shit like that, because of like it's the man that has the power over it. More than anything, like the fact that he fought the war would be the reason why he feels that
he can
would
make the law.
Make the law.
If you fight the war, you come back and make the laws. So men have always been free, especially if you're talking about like historically in this country. Men have always had way more freedoms than women.
Well, I mean, of course, but we talk about, I ain't going back historically. I'm talking about right now.
Okay.
I feel like the average man, I don't think the average man feels the same way y'all talking about.
No,
we don't feel as free as, because like our
Well, what
jobs
can't you
are defined out, are very etched in stone, defined out, and have been in our entire lives.
But I don't
what
think so.
makes a man, what makes a man, like all of these different things that we have to stand on, and what that has been there in our entire lives. And so it's like, no, you
I don't
ain't
know.
dodging accountability. You know what I mean? You're
Niggas dodge it all the time.
what I'm saying is, as a collective, you don't have you can try to dodge it, but you still ain't shit nigga. Like you done
But those
heard
be the
that,
ones
you
that
ain't
get the
been a-
most women. Those be the ones that like
who?
the ain't shit niggas. Like the dudes.
No,
that
you
got-
talking about dude with some bread. They get the most women.
I know
But Tyrone ain't just.
I know
getting a whole
Tyrone. I
bunch
know
of women, bro.
Tyrone's with 3-4 baby mamas ain't got $2 to his name.
Well, okay,
he's
but
still
then-
out here eating. He's still
Well,
out
that's
here
it.
getting it
Okay,
done.
but
So,
what is it? What is
so
it?
why does he got to live to society standards if he can still go and procreate with women?
Homeless sexual.
Homeless sexual, yeah,
You-
hobosexual. Like they got a lot of terms for it, but those dudes exist, and so he ain't playing by society standards, but he's still doing what he want to do. That's the ultimate freedom.
Okay, so do you think that the reason why, if you look at damn near any stat, I think other than maybe like prescription medication, I think women take more. But I think that's because they go and go through therapy a lot more often than we do. Do you think that the suicide rate on the male side, the incarceration rate, just use those two, is a result of the freedom that y'all say we have? Because I believe that if
You're
you
saying
actually
like the incarceration rate,
right, what I'm saying is that because you're saying that we're not tied down to these like the stereotypes, like the man thing. So you use Tyrone as an example to disprove that you don't actually have to go and do this because you can still procreate with women and all that stuff. So do you think that we are indeed actually freer than women when our suicide rates are much higher than theirs. I think it's at least two or three times more.
I think the males self-deletion rate. Let's try to.
Okay, bro, that's dumb. Why do they keep trying to act like these words, bro? It's a fucking reality, bro.
It's reality, but we are playing by the games of what the YouTube algorithm.
Go ahead.
As real say, we're not free.
Right.
Again,
but I don't think that that's like men. That's
just
the way that
you're just making a joke.
I get you. But all right, self-deletion rates with men. I think that goes back to a different version of men not being happy and or satisfied and feeling underappreciated in general.
Not a lack of freedom. And then even like with the incarceration, usually a man makes those choices. Whether you want to live a lifestyle that's going to put you there or you don't. That's still at the end of the day.
But usually men are also, and also usually men, and I think they was talking about this on Vlad, usually those men are also doing whatever that got them in there as a result of something that has to do with a woman as well.
Not always.
So most
they said
crimes are committed.
He was talking to the niggas who been in prison, talking to the prison, the niggas
Motherfuckers
in there with
trapping.
him.
Wait, so you saying like they was in prison and he was talking to him, or you just like had some
No, the niggas
people
who
that
have gotten out of prison that was in prison for that spent like spans of time.
You say they was trapping for hoes? Or?
Well, I mean, generally, if you look at it, men been trying to get money. That's usually for women.
All right, so you're using it like in a loose form.
In a loose form, yeah.
Like they want to gain. But that's like saying like people want to be rich and powerful just for pussy.
Yeah, people do everything if that's the case in the name of like pussy.
And have always.
It's the reason niggas go to work also.
So are you actually free? You're freer than them if you're doing everything.
I mean, you basically say we slaves to the pussy.
That's what you just said.
but to me, I don't look at it like that. I think that people work and amass all that shit because of for power, and with power comes pussy because pussy comes with they want the most powerful in the room. Yeah, that's the best way that I would put that.
Power.
I think also like this is the space of like throwing back like one of those red pill and or manosphere points back would be if we believe that men and women are different and men have more testosterone and men also commit the most violent and aggressive crimes. I think it goes like hand in hand also. Like if we're looking at why it would be more, it's because of men are filled with more testosterone and nut, and
that's true.
They don't get it up.
I'm sorry, you said why it would be more what again? Because
that would explain
crime.
both of those stats: the crime and the self-deletion rates.
Testosterone.
Yeah, I mean, if that makes
if we ascribe that men and women are different, and a part of men and women being different is the fact that men are stronger. Men have more testosterone, which leads to more aggression. More aggression leads to more, which men are leading in crime and violent crime. To me, it just seems like it all lines itself up if we're also making the statement that men and women are different.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was just sitting there thinking like, what areas do women still need to be empowered in?
They said it was. I looked on the website. I looked on the website. Of course, they're still saying that the wealth inequality. That's still on the
website.
What I did, like some it was a .org. I can't remember. Matter of fact,
the Women's Institute.
Yeah, but either way,
that was the one that I said had like an article.
One thing I think, and this is because I got
pretty much everything on there has pretty much been debunked.
But here's one I think, and I'd have to look up the stats, but I'm pretty sure.
Let me see this.
Less women own guns than men, and I think that
is that because of a choice or because they can't own guns though.
But I'm saying, but that would be something that would help make them feel freer.
But they can own guns.
Empowerment if they have the choice to do it and choose not to. Like what place can they not be empowered in at this point?
Even if you look at the
well, I mean,
citizen
having the freedom and the ability to do something is different than like being empowered to do it and be feeling supported.
What the fuck does empower them to buy a gun look like?
So we need to encourage women to buy guns.
Yeah, I think it'd be a lot less violent crime against them. I think if women were able to protect themselves, that would make dudes think twice about doing
I think
violent
some
stuff
women don't buy guns because they know
they're scared.
No, not even just because they're scared. I think some of them know that they could pick up a gun and kill somebody. Like I actually know somebody who did this.
But that's the truth for every dude too that has.
Well, I'm trying to figure out.
Yeah,
like,
mad
you said-
niggas
why-
doing postal
why-
things over
so
and
why
over and
wouldn't
over.
why wouldn't that stop a man from buying a gun?
Hold on, why you say they scared? Why you say they're scared to buy?
Well, I
a gun?
know women that like are intimidated by
Don't like guns.
Yeah, but
They
I
just
think
don't
if
like
that's
guns.
Yeah, you're using the word empowered differently than they are.
And
right
that's
now.
all I'm saying. Like if she makes the choice to not get a gun, she has the choice to get a gun, and she chooses not to get it. That's not.
I'm just saying.
No,
that's
but you're using the power to do it, and he's using empowered in the sense of like it's promoted for her to do that.
Is it not? Is it like?
I don't know if there's like campaigns for women to get guns.
Let
me know if I'm wrong. I imagine-
I mean, you would assume I would assume the NRA doesn't say men. It's for every. It's just guns.
I think that.
But if
Yeah, literally,
have you
it's
ever
called
been?
women with guns.
Have you
Like-
ever been to an NRA show? It's not geared towards women. Or
I mean, it's
yeah.
geared towards guns. Like, what the fuck do I need to do to say like?
Okay, but that's just
What the
that was just the idea.
Well, how
but
we-
clearly,
Bro, I actually,
it was just the
honestly-
idea, just the thought. But I was saying that, and that's something that like I've encouraged women in my family to look into. As far as like, if I'm not gonna always be around, and it's a woman I really love and care about, that's something I think would make her feel better walking around on this planet.
I think.
Yeah,
that,
I think that's. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that like the feel better part, but I also think like we
or just using
made.
like the word is the word empower. I think we was using it way differently than
I
like,
remember
probably the definition.
I was at Wells, and when I was working at Wells, it was this girl. She was damn near my height. She probably about damn near way what I weigh. She was at least about 5'10", a good 170. She was solid. That's what I'm saying.
A brick house.
She talking about she didn't go to the Dreamville Fest because she was scared that somebody was going, like, she could be walking to the car, somebody come grab. Ain't nobody finna come try to grab your big ass.
Stop, bro.
Bro, what kind of, I'm not finna sit here. Who come to,
This is crazy.
ain't nobody coming out here to fight with your big ass.
Yeah, I'm not rolling on that point.
He
I
called-
think it's a crazy point. Like if we take it outside of the joke, I don't want to step on the joke.
Yeah, but I just, like Tone said, what is it that they're lacking that they need more of? You can even go to the fucking courts. Like if you go and sit in the courts, you can see that the level of leniency that the judge is going to give them. Even when, hold on, let me finish real quick. From something minute, I was in there. Dude was the judge was actually talking real, like being very direct to the black dude. He was around our age, and the black dude he was being so direct that he was trying to laugh it off. You know how if you in there up there and motherfucker talking to you crazy, you a grown ass man, you may try to like laugh it off and chuckle or whatever. Pissed the judge off. Soon as he started laughing, he got hot. He told him, okay, we'll sit right there. They locked bro up for laughing in that motherfucker. When I tell you the damn them women be in there, bro, they be getting, because we naturally accept that level of emotion that they have, and there's no accountability for that.
Are you saying like the woman came up and was laughing or something?
No, she was actually being more like combative towards the judge, and we offered that lenient. As men, we're socialized to offer that extra
And my bad,
leniency.
what was both of them up? Was they up for like different crimes or the same thing?
Well, it would have been different. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was a lot of it was like physical violence and fucking, I forget what the court, which
So
what exactly
both
it was
the
like
man
two.
and the woman was up there for physical violence.
Yeah, it was all like fucking like
Assaults.
assaults and like people what do they call them?
I got a question though.
Domestic violence cases.
I got
Yeah,
a
like
question.
domestic violence and like trying to get what is it? Where you can't come while I'm trying to get an order so that you can't come near me. A restraining orders. It was a lot of that kind of shit.
No, but
Well,
see,
that's like that makes it.
but this is my question.
Mhm.
Like if you're saying women, like what more do you think women need to be empowered?
Well,
Y'all all got daughters, right?
correct.
Tone, you got two. Everybody got daughters. What are you cool with the world like that? You gonna send your daughter in, and you think she got all the tools and all the empowerment, like
Well,
to do what she needs to do in this world?
good.
I guess, and I guess I'll try and answer some of that, and then answer your question as well. So, what are some things that women want to be empowered more in? I would say a simple one, especially
Talking about
if we
Roe v.
just
Wade.
if we go Roe v. Wade, like the fact that there's not been different definitions for what an abortion is, and they can't control that. I think that in itself like screams the fact that like there's something, you know what I mean, incorrect in the system where different procedures that can be medically necessary can't be done, and women have no choice about that. in the framework of the fact that the legislation that it was written that included all for women. I mean, not all for women, but it included all in abort. Like they included all of these procedures as abortions and didn't differentiate the difference between what is a medically necessary abortion, quote unquote abortion, or procedure. It's really a medically necessary procedure. Like if a fetus dies inside a woman and that can kill her, it's still classified as a abortion.
Right.
In comparison to like if you're getting birth control abortions at like 7 weeks or something like that, I think those are like way different concepts
For sure.
in which like they don't control the levers of power of any of that shit.
Well, it sounds like sounds like they don't even write them laws.
No, they don't.
Well, I mean, I would say that go ahead.
Well, I guess so like that would be an example. I would also say I was looking up some shit. Trey actually he sent this into the group chat, making a different point, but I heard the dude talking about it. I could send it in a second, but in essence, it was a dude that was running down the stats, and it was talking about like the gender pay gap and all these different things, and where even I think what is this? The Institute for Women's Policy and Research speaks about it. Pew Research also kind of backs up these exact same stats, where of course women are more educated. They get more degrees in general, but women of all genders make less than their male counterpart. So that's his own different thing.
Hold on, you said women of all genders.
My bad.
Regardless,
racist.
Oh, racist. Okay, my bad. I just wanted to make sure.
No, I said the wrong thing.
Okay,
women of all races make less than their male counterpart. Men in female-dominated sectors make more than women inside those sectors. Men and women working the exact occupation for the exact amount of time, women make less than those guys.
I have to see that. Where I've never even heard of that. Like in reality, like when we all have worked with women. We all have worked with women. We can use our collective understanding. We all have worked with women.
But stats say that women make less.
Well, I mean, I understand what you're saying.
I will say I've seen something to go against that stat when it comes to, and I don't know how true it is, but it says when it comes to women in working places, a lot of time they have more complications and stuff with health, and so they may have more medical reasons to miss work than guys do for the most part. And typically that leads, especially in like my industry, like I'm in sales, it's a performance-based industry. If you don't step up every day, or if you're not feeling 100% every day, that can affect a performance.
Well, I mean, they also said that was like why, as far as those big jobs, the CEO, COO, they were talking about, getting pregnant, you fucking around and be gone for 6 months out of the year, and they didn't really want them in those positions for that reason. And I'm not condoning that shit at all. I'm not condoning that at all. But when you think about it, I can understand why you wouldn't want the fucking president of the company to be gone for 6 months.
Knocked up and
and fucking, I can understand it, but I'm like I said, I don't condone it, but it makes sense. But generally, when I, and also what I've seen is that if you look at the type of jobs that women typically choose, is going to be more human resource based, whereas those construction jobs.
But no, this is controlled. This is controlled for working the same job.
Right, but what I'm saying is that like when I've never worked a job, even that when I worked at McDonald's, I came in, the women that worked with me, we came in and made the same money. When I started working at fucking Carowinds, when I was in the military, the same rank was the same money. And as a matter of fact, when I was in the military, the women were doing absolutely less work than the men were doing and getting the same money. Literally could watch them, and there was not even a fucking the sergeants wouldn't even say anything because the expectation was that they're gonna stand over there and talk, and niggas is gonna be the ones out here doing all of this shit.
Right, but let's move it away from like controlled, it's not speaking about only manual labor jobs. Where I understand like even the gripe, and then it's also illegal to just start at different pay rates for like genders,
right? So
because that's what you was kind of speaking to. Right. I think that's something different in comparison if we're talking about over the lifespan of a career, over the lifespan of a life, and how much they earn and make. But yeah, I'm gonna throw it back to you. I'm about to send this to Tone. This is the thing that I see.
You throw it back to me.
John, my bad, John. But
no, I said it. I said it, sir.
Okay, so no, and with the thing you said about the abortion thing, I already knew that was going to be the one. That's the obvious one. And specifically because I'm not a guy that says like, yeah, they should just be able to fucking. I'm not one of those guys. I don't say that you should just be able to just off your, you know what I mean? I don't believe in that. But in those specific scenarios that you were talking about, that is fucked up that they haven't differentiated those type of abortions from what we believe that they mean when they say abortion. I think that is definitely a disservice to women, 100%. And I also think that it is crazy that those type of laws are written by men. I do think that is, you know what I mean? I won't sit and because I think that if it was something that was written by a woman, they would have had that additional language. And you know what I mean? Because it means so much to, you know what I mean? That they're the ones going through it. So we can't really empathize as much as we would need to. I'm talking us as a fucking population of men. We won't necessarily empathize with it enough to, differentiate. That is one that I would agree on. But outside of that, to me, it seems like they have the ability to pretty much be for their emotions. They have the ability to display emotions more than we do. Because at the end of the day, it's just never been socially accepted.
It's comparing like emotion and power and resources. I wouldn't want to do those. Like, I think that if women can be more in their feelings, but men have more decisions on like what happens. And even if we're talking about traditionally how a household is ran, is God, man, woman, children.
Well, I mean, let's not use the traditional part because we already done that shit. Y'all pretty much done through the tradition that shit is not even anything.
Well, I'm just speaking. Let me just use like a different word, like how, like if somebody adheres to like the order of
the hierarchy of
mm-hmm. Any of those things, not using traditional inside like the Kevin Samuels way. But Tone, if you can't go
still traditional.
Okay. I'm not trying to like argue that. Go to the messages. And if you can go to this video and go to like the 12-15-ish mark, I would say. Maybe like 2 minutes, if we could spare 2 minutes. He kind of goes into a deep dive. He was actually combating Dr. Umar on some of his statements about black men and black women and different things like that. But
and before I play, I do want to also address the thing that Johnny said. We could let's make sure we double back to that. Johnny asked a question about us and our daughters.
Okay,
I do want to double back to that.
I was going to ask you again.
You said 12 what?
Probably like 12-15. Go right past whenever you get past whatever this thing is right here. Just a little bit further. No, just a little bit further. Right there. Whenever we get into like this part, he kind of speaks more so into it. And I guess this will give a basis of where, some things that I've recently seen. He cites sources is muted. He cites sources and he gotcha. He cites sources. I think he does a decent enough job speaking to the points of the shit.
Same race, and the gender pay gap is especially large for women of color. Now, for any black woman that has an issue with this and they think that these statistics are lying, I want you to look at the top of this study. This was published by the Institute for Women's Policy Research. Okay? It says, new report, women earn less than men in all occupations, even ones commonly held by women. So do you think they will be biased towards black women or women in general? No.
Well,
so the new report was published March 7, 2024. Women earn less than men for full-time work in all 20 of the largest occupations for women and in all 20 largest occupations for men, according to the analysis. So what does that mean? When men do enter workspaces that are predominantly dominated by women, men still earn more. So nowhere in history have black women ever out-earned black men. And Dr. Umar has said this multiple times on many different platforms. And I don't know where he's getting his information from. I don't know if he's just lying because he needs black women to be on his side. You ain't got to do that, brother. All you got to do is tell them that, they're queen and they're going to follow you regardless. But
black queens forever.
But don't lie on black men. You a black man, brother. God damn. It has a whole document
How long we gonna watch this?
cataloging
like 2
everything.
minutes.
Just published
That's like
March 2024. And you guys, like I said, you could do the research for yourself. I always say this: don't take my word for it. So I want you to do the research for yourselves, okay? And I know the narrative is that this whole gender pay gap is because women get paid more or paid less for doing the same job as men. It's not. It's actually not true. You guys can look at the study work from Dr. Jordan Peterson where he broke all of that down. I'm pretty sure you've seen the interviews that he did where he was telling women that, hey, the only reason why men get paid more is because they work more hours, they take less days off, etc.
That's my point.
Let's say that we're going to play
So
repeated trading games.
That literally
And
just
if you're
debunked the whole fucking pay gap thing.
Well, no,
I seen this a different dude doing the study that was specifically for that
right. But here's my, I guess,
reason for playing it.
yeah, playing it
Go ahead.
because I wanted to make it go to that far because he addresses both things, both parts. But then it says all of the top dominated female industries and male industries as well, where working more hours that can make sense inside the jobs that offer overtime, but a lot of I don't know if it's majority minority, so I don't want to say most, but a good portion of the jobs that people work today don't offer overtime. We're just like going off of the 40 hours in a week quota.
He was also talking about the days off as well. So like when you look at it,
But
like
if
of course
your
we got
salary,
the
that don't really
FMLAs
matter.
and all that stuff. Say it again.
If your salary,
I mean,
doesn't matter.
shoot.
But this is where, like, to me, like if you're saying the top 20 of both genders, if it to me, it just like when you control for all things, because the top 20 of both, that means like every job is not construction or manual labor based, and it's not overtime based as well. Like I don't even know if I've worked a job that's offers overtime like that.
I know
Even when you're inside, like if you're like Walmart or if you work Target, like they don't be offering nobody overtime like that either. But especially then once you go jump into corporate America, it'd be salary based, where that wouldn't impact how much you earn at the end of the day.
I can understand like the salary jobs, the salary. I can understand that. I was trying to think, bro. It's so many. That used to be more common. That I used to hear that a lot more. People on salary. I don't really hear that as much as I used to.
I get like anywhere that like where I work at is all salary based, and then like there's like bonus incentives for the work that you do at the job and shit like that. But
and they don't offer overtime.
Nah, ain't but salary is not overtime.
Right.
I think most I think most people that I can think to aren't working out.
I ain't gonna.
Well, my bad. Once you let me retract that. Once you make it past a certain threshold of like income levels for positions, when you go outside of the realm of factory jobs, I think most of them are salary based jobs.
Even at the bank, I was making fucking. They offer overtime. Oh, well, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm curious where people be getting some of these statistics from. Being honest. And even like Tara had just said, this is exactly what I was thinking. Top 20 means nothing. It is not comparing specific job to job with same hours. There's a reason they do the studies the way they do to get the outcome they want. And that's another thing. Like, what are the top 20 jobs that women or men are work? Like,
well, I mean, but I would just would imagine if you just say the top 20 of both sexes,
bro,
that would encompass so many jobs.
But this is what I'm saying.
Top 20, and so when you saying top 20, you saying the top 20 jobs that women like to have the largest population of women working them, and then the top 20 jobs that men have the largest population of men working them.
Yes,
they're gonna obviously make more money, and the men are obviously gonna make more money.
But that's you're controlling for both sides.
My whole thing.
If you're saying,
I don't know,
like there's
you say
that, in essence that maybe there's some blend in it, but that's probably going to like go for the top 30 jobs at minimum in America. That's the easiest way to look at it. If you're controlling for who dominates the sector on both sides and men make more, that's kind of the point for it. Like to actually say like the other side of the coin, it'll be easy. Go ahead.
And just to be sure, you're arguing that the wealth inequality between men and women is like that's what you're doing. That's what you're saying all this to say that the wealth inequality or is the thing is still present. and a scale that is like
Well,
something
yeah,
to be talking about.
To me, if we're saying that they're more like women are more educated, make less on the same jobs, then I guess like I would just deduce that, especially like once we control for the same amount of hours. I don't know. It just seems like there's some work. I don't think that it's like what 1970, 80, 98 was, but there's clearly still a thing. So like now, if we're just in like the words of Tara, if we are throwing out the research of like the Pew Research Institute, in which we take all other socioeconomic and racial data from, then it's like I'll concede from it, but
it's that can be skewed data, bro, for people to like people pay for these studies. Somebody paid for that study to get done to get a result in order to provide some type of product or service. They don't just get these studies for no reason. So I'm saying if it benefits somebody to say, hey, women are making this disparity because they're going to run on it or what they're going to do, whatever, then they can pay for that to get done.
I don't know the Pew
All I'm
Research
saying is
Institute to be profiting off of like
are they a peer-reviewed research society?
Yes.
So all I'm saying is somebody is,
but that's what it is though. Like that. This is where
who's paying for the study?
I can go research it. I don't know off the top of my head.
That's all I'm saying.
But my thing is that what I'm saying is that if we can't go off of any data, then that's given. What are we building the foundation of our conversation off of?
Bro, like all I'm saying is like personally, I got an opinion on this whole women's empowerment movement. I'm just saying you got to like when you hear.
But my thing is that like. Even if we go against that, if we go against what like the stats say, I personally am not hurt by like any version of any part of the women's empowerment movement.
So you gonna let me finish my sentence?
Okay, my bad. I'll toss it to you.
Yeah. Like all I'm saying is like as far as the whole women's empowerment movement, I have an opinion on that anyway. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is when we hear these statistics and we hear stuff, these are from studies that people are doing. So we don't like it's like when I hear certain stuff, it's not that I'm saying I don't believe it. It's that I want to know more about what positions are they talking about and what are the other reasons for these disparities. Because I don't know if it's a thing of that there's like some inequality or if these disparities are for another reason. That's all I'm saying.
And pretty much through the Jordan Peterson thing, that's exactly what he was like showing is that it's like you can say that the wealth or the inequality is there, but actually when you peel back the layers, everything it's not like niggas are sitting there just saying, oh, we're going to intentionally give you less money because you have a vagina. That's not, he was pretty much like debunking that is not the reason in which why they
ain't that what he speaks to? Agreeableness.
I don't remember that portion of it.
I guess the Jordan Peterson conversation that I remember is the idea of women being more agreeable so they don't negotiate for higher wages.
But I would say that probably is a part in it too. I think most people,
but that to me like that lends on like the empowerment part.
Well, I mean, if you're saying that men are actually more apt to ask for more money and women are generally more apt to take what they're offered, that's not anything about them trying to do anything. It's that you're just not asking for more.
Right. Let me see how I can frame this. Every part, like so Johnny's example, it wasn't about like specifically somebody taking away something, more about actual empowerment to do a thing. This will kind of like lend in the same thing. So if you're a woman inside like a male dominated industry and like you generally don't feel like you look around and you're the outlier. You're not like necessarily supposed to quote unquote be here. Uh-huh. You're less likely to ask for that raise when it comes down to negotiating in comparison to Johnny Joe Schmo, who feels like he's supposed to be here and deserves it. It's the same thing that you see with like whether you say black people or black men inside like corporate America, where if you are the quote unquote outlier, you're less likely to be entitled to feel that you should negotiate for more because you're just happy to be inside this position.
Yeah, no, I understood. I understood what you were saying. Damn, around up.
I had another question though that just got breezed over about like
the daughters
and like how do y'all feel? Because y'all gonna send y'all daughters out in this world, and do y'all feel like there's anything that they may need that's lacking in this society in order to be empowered to be productive citizens?
Honestly, man,
go ahead.
I think sometimes when you put a title on something, that's what brings the attention to it and makes it such a thing. Like, I think if anything, and I'm just gonna give my opinion here. I think the women's empowerment movement, and this is even after listening to this conversation, I was thinking about this a lot, but I think it's counterintuitive to what we actually want. What, like, not just men, like,
You said, go ahead.
it's well, I think it's counterintuitive even to what women may want. But I think like we get away from being humans here and everything. So now, like, what the women's empowerment movement has become about is a totally different thing than I feel like it used to be about. Like, there was a time where we like put some respect on their
Equal
name.
rights.
But Tone, the question was even outside of the women's empowerment movement.
Yeah.
The question was just like with your daughter, your daughter, when we sent them out there, when y'all sent them out there, like, are y'all comfortable with the way the world is and the way the world treats women? Are y'all comfortable with your daughter being treated
I feel like you go get benefit of the doubt more. You're more apt to get benefit of the doubt as a woman. So I think that, and when let me finish answering your question. So I think that I'm with anything that happens as far as like abortion, unless it's like the thing where the baby passes while you're, you know what I mean, and you're trying to have the baby, and they end up having to do what they call a abortion in that case because the fetus won't survive. But as far as like the abortion, I don't want my if you take that part out of it, I'm not the nigga that's gonna be let's fight for abortion. I wouldn't want my daughter to be on that side of things either. And also, like, I wouldn't want, like, me. I want my, like, as far as like, I would definitely, my daughter's going to be raised with because we are more traditional, but I want my daughter's expectations to be more of like, not necessarily that you get to stay home and work and all of that, but like her morality be more in the old school way than this new shit.
But okay,
morality. What do you mean?
Like her moral compass to be based more in like just
traditional,
more of a traditional value. Yeah, a traditional value system. Because I think these motherfuckers all over the place.
Let me ask you this then, like, so like your son, you like, and I see this with people who have sons and daughters. They're way more lenient and like way more, oh, he's cool, I'm just gonna let him experience this world. And then with your daughters, people like shelter them and they baby them, and you baby your daughters, and like your son, if he fall, oh, he'll be out, he gonna be tough. Your daughter, she fall, oh, it's okay, baby. And then so you're setting her up, but then if you're gonna send her out in this world, are you expecting the world to treat her the same way that you do, or is she gonna get treated differently? And how is she supposed to then react?
What I'm saying is that I think you're doing your daughter a disservice by trying to treat her different than the, like, this whole print. Like, my daughter is my princess, but I don't have, if she scrapes her knee, I stand there and let her figure out what emotion that she's having right then, and ask, is she all right? I'll kiss it, but we're gonna, you know what I mean? It's not all. I don't do all that shit. My daughter can be wrong and she will be disciplined as well. My son, I do. He's a lot more physical, so this nigga liable to climb up on the table. But if he get on the table, then you need to get down. But I do allow him and his motor skills, like with the climbing and like balancing himself. He does that kind of stuff, and he's not gonna not do it. He's a boy, so like you have the leniency there. But at the end of the day, he's gonna actually have it a little bit. Like, I'm gonna be more, because I understand how to be a man. I can't teach my daughter how to be a woman, but I know this part of it. So I'm going to be tougher on him because of the fact I understand what your life is going to be like. But I can't. My wife is going to be needing to be teaching my daughter how to be a woman. I can't, like, you know what I mean? Only thing I can do is, like, of course, try to teach her or get her ready for the world the best way I know how. But as far as what that looks like, that's going to be more of where her mom to really put that into her, because I haven't had that experience.
I'm not gonna lie. When you ask that question, I think about it on the boys' side and for the girls. I'm actually more afraid for my sons, like, and not just because of my specific situation, but like just the things they're gonna have to deal out here with that nobody's gonna care about. Nobody's checking for them. Nobody care what they think. Nobody care what they got to say. Nobody is thinking about them.
The ease of getting help. You more apt to, like, even with my sister, like I get a loan, she gets bread.
Okay, I get that.
Like, she's treated,
but you just admitted that your son is more capable.
As far as motor skills and shit, yes, he's more physical.
So you treat them different when it comes to infants and toddlers, but once you send them out there, your daughter, like you say, like, and you said you don't treat your daughter, you treat her with a more modern mindset as far as like if she falls down, you just gonna let her, figure that out. You're not coddling her. But a lot of women get coddled growing up. And then when they get out there in the real world, that's where you see a lot of them not feel as comfortable in male dominated spaces because they don't have the skills to ask for what they want and negotiate that, because I feel like we do, and even with my nieces, and I've seen them get coddled because they're women more so. And then if that's the case, we have to make the world easier for them to.
Man, I don't know, because they get coddled by, if anything, women get coddled by the fathers. Fine. The women, the mothers is not coddling these daughters, bro.
They do not.
They're not coddling these daughters. I don't know what you're talking about.
Their mothers do not coddle
the mothers is not coddling these daughters. These women is smart out here, bro. Like they smart. They actually be knowing what they doing. If like even with my girls, as far as how they're being raised and everything, they're smart about the choices that they make. That's the whole thing. That's the main thing that we tell them. Be smart about the decisions that you make, because the decisions of the places that you choose to go, the friends that you choose to hang out with, those are the things that I think are more impactful than anything for anybody.
I will admit, women don't do the coddling as much as men do towards their daughters. I can attest to that.
Yeah. And then I think that, like, if you think about it, we talked about earlier, it's more dangerous to be a man. He said that because of the testosterone, you're more apt to be a part of violence. You know what I mean? It's more apt to commit suicide. These type of things. It's going to be harder for you.
Self-deletion.
I'm sorry, self-deletion. I can't get with the fake shit. I don't know how to do that. But we
running the show. We got.
I know. I get you. I have to get. I'm just not going to talk about it anymore, so I won't make that mistake again. I just know.
You say offer yourself, bro.
So you say that all the time. That's one of your words.
Okay, I try to. Yeah. But it's definitely, like, as far as the almost, well, I ain't gonna say the worst thing that can happen, but as far as, like, it's generally about sex as it relates to your daughter. Generally, you think of, like, those things, like the teaching her about her body, like, you know what I mean, to keep, you know what I mean, to not let people touch on her, and you know what I mean. It's generally the most scary part about as it relates to your daughter. Generally, is something you would think about sexually happening to her
or physically.
I mean, it's just, I would say sexual, because on the other side, it's going to be, because I mean, at the end of the day, niggas don't be just, I don't know too many people that, like, in today's time, they boyfriend whooping their ass. I don't know anybody. This is not a thing that just fucking happens like it used to. So, like, you know what I mean? To think that you use that, right, like, niggas ain't just whooping ass like that. But let me finish my thought, because on the male side of things, this nigga might get killed. This is a real reality.
Killed for what? What is it?
What I'm saying is that you can get into a disagreement with the wrong motherfucker and be right and be killed. Like,
what do you? Women get killed too, but
like, come on. What I'm saying is that this is more apt to happen in random.
So do you think that men? I guess what is it? Random acts of violence against men.
What I'm saying is if somebody can take what you, if we get into a heated debate as men. And
niggas ain't dying just off.
What I'm saying is that if the
as
way
much as like domestic violence is happening,
but let him finish, because I got another point. Let him finish.
Yeah,
bro. I ain't even got to the answer, Johnny point. I've been quiet. You act like I just keep jumping in. I'm just chilling.
Okay.
Please finish, Rail. Please, because I got something.
You go ahead. I'll go ahead.
No, where you was at though?
No, I remember now. What I was saying was that with men, we generally have the threat of violence is higher amongst us. So you're gonna make sure,
because we're more violent.
I understand that. That I'm actually saying the same thing that he said earlier. I agree with that point. So he's gonna have a higher chance of being met with violence than the daughter, a woman will, just naturally based on that. So, like, you're going to prep him and get him ready, and you're going to be more afraid, because bro gonna get into a fight. He gonna get into a fight. So then you're gonna have to, you know what I mean? This is a thing. His life that's a part of our upbringing. Even with your homeboy, you might have to throw down with your homeboy, and then y'all have to come back and figure out how to communicate and move forward, and all that shit's completely different.
But like with your son, like if he gets into like a lot of time when it comes to men, because we're more dangerous, we're more capable. Mm-hmm. I'm not afraid of somebody who's dangerous, Like if you got the ability to go out and whoop ass, and I might have to worry about you whooping somebody ass or getting your ass whooped, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, he's
Niggas ain't whooping ass. They shooting now, bro.
well, whatever. Like you
But
might
that speaks to more.
You might
working
raise
on
a son-
personal impulse and not going into
but
a version of aggression is best.
But
If
like, you
niggas
might-
is shooting. If
you
that's
might
what the YS is
raise
doing.
you might raise a son that
wanted
could
to
go
hear
and
what you
kill
said.
somebody, and like, are you more afraid of that than your son getting killed? And
You
like,
said, am I more afraid of my son killing somebody
or
or
getting killed, but like so we're raising these men are violent. Like so if you're violent, there's a chance you could get met with violence. A lot of time women aren't violent, and
they just talk a lot?
somebody who's not violent getting met with violence scares me more because like they're innocent. Like they didn't go out and do that with them, and that's to me, I'm more worried about like my nieces and stuff going out there and just being a victim of innocent violence just because they're cute or because they're pretty or because they whatever, and somebody just wanting that and thinking that they can do whatever versus I got some of my little cousins, they go out there and he a hothead and he go and get into it. Sometimes he handle his own, sometimes it won't. But like my thing with him is, hey, just be cool because I know you're capable. I know you're dangerous. You can go out and kill somebody just like you get killed. I don't look at my little nieces like they killers. Like they'll go out there and go and fuck something up if I send them out in the world. I'm more worried about them getting fucked up.
Okay, but even with your nieces can go do something like say, this man touched me and he didn't touch you, and then get a man killed. So that's
dangerous. And that would be, I'd worry, but just the way I wouldn't worry about my son going out being killed, I wouldn't worry about sending any of my family members out there that would go and lie on somebody because that's morally wrong and that's not what my family about. Oh, that wouldn't come from my family.
But I mean, at the same time,
on the same way, we don't raise killers and shit like that either.
But hold on, no, we can't sit here and act like that comes from in the cases where that happens, that it comes from a place of reason and rational thinking. They emotional
place of trauma.
What I'm saying, it comes from a place of you're emotional and you want the worst thing to happen to this person as possible.
Man, people don't just do that without having some kind of trauma or something in their life that make them go to that extreme.
I can't sit here and talk about most women who call their brothers to beat up. I don't know if they've been through traumas or not. I can't answer that. But what I will say is that oftentimes those types of things happen, and and like I said, the one thing that you're worried about most with your daughter is something sexual happening to her, which the only thing you really can do is try to equip her with maybe some defense, like some mace and a taser if she, you know what I mean, or you gonna teach her how to use a weapon, get her a little a 22, take her to the range, you know what I mean. That's what you're gonna do. But with your son, the realm in which his understanding has to be is just he can get into shit.
But you're more worried about you're more worried about his actions and his behavior. You're not worried about somebody just running up and randomly doing something to him
people
like you are a woman. You're worried about, hey, bro, if you don't go out here and act the asshole, you'll be cool. That's why they teach us when the police pull us over how to talk to the police as a black man, because they know like if we go out there and act stupid. But it's about our behavior. It's not about. It's
not about our behavior, though, bro. Do you know how many situations people have got caught up in? It's good men who done died just being caught up in situations with the wrong people, being lied on and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. This stuff happens for real. So as a man, like you don't just have sex to worry about. You have to be aware, even if you got you have a girlfriend,
but you have to worry. You have to worry about yourself as a man.
Well, not hearing what I'm saying.
I want to hear what he got to say.
I'm saying, you know, like women, they have to worry about sexual abuse and stuff like that. As a man, you don't just have that to worry about. That's not just like you have to worry about your woman being sexually abused on top of the stuff that can happen to you. So
but you're minimizing like their experience to just worrying about that.
You said minimizing the experience.
The comparison was that men don't have just that. So if you put just that, then you're just minimizing. My bad. I said that horribly.
Well, I wasn't trying to minimize it.
What the woman's thing is too, like specifically that.
I was just saying like how you said minimize. I was just saying that was like that's not the only thing. Like you have to still worry about your woman being like the woman ain't sitting there having to worry about the man being abused and stuff like that. As a man, you still got to worry about your woman too. So I'm like, it's a lot of stuff that you got. Like you can get in situations as a man just based off of everybody around. Even women can too, but literally, like as a man and you protecting and everything, you can be a good man and be caught up in a situation just because your woman was caught up with somebody else or your sister was caught up with the wrong person.
But as men, we're more capable to handle the fucked up situations. That's why you don't worry about your son climbing on stuff, because if he falls, he's capable. But your daughter, if she climbed up on there, you'd freak out because she's not as capable.
I don't think that was a good example. Cause
I don't know if I necessarily.
But
if we talking about toddlers climbing on shit,
yeah,
I don't know.
It's just that difference between both males and females. She just don't do the shit like that. He just came out the womb trying to climb up on the motherfucking table.
But I guess like I still want to answer your question, which was about like with daughters and shit like that. We did steer to an interesting space in which I just did a quick look up at the stats, and we was comparing domestic violence to murder, and it's not even like the rates. Again, I don't know how much we do or don't.
That was not what I was saying. Domestic violence would clearly happen more than murder.
Oh my bad. Like y'all were I guess y'all were making points that all led to men in murder. No, and like somebody killing the other person.
Sometimes you be listening for the wrong thing. I think. Like,
no, I'm only listening to the point that y'all was making. So like
the point wasn't about the statistics, bro. The point was about there are a multitude of things that can happen to men.
Of course, but then when you use two separate things as the comparison, I'm gonna just look up the numbers on both of those things. I understand like the point that you're making, but if you're making a point, it has to be based off of some level of like validity to the point that you're making. And so
is experience not a validity?
That's what's called anecdote. Anecdotal experience is valid for your personal experience. Yes. But, like if we're extrapolating this to like a bigger conversation.
Hold up. So my personal experience is less valid than a statistic that you got from some random person that you don't know.
Well, I mean, if they actually doing a study,
it's a peer reviewed study. I think
it ain't.
So right now, are we making the it just was peer reviewed. Like I'm literally like going off a sense. Like what are you talking about?
Okay, bro.
But right now, are we making the argument that our own personal anecdotes are more than like actual total statistics of
what I'm saying
violent crime and domestic? Like, what are we talking about?
Knowledge ain't nothing but what you experience anyway. Knowledge ain't nothing but what you actually see. So somebody reporting something on paper does not, just because somebody say, yeah, we reviewed this over and over, that don't make it even more valid. Like I don't see that.
Well, I mean,
like,
this is what
I'm saying, because you think like even though I've actually seen it, to just dismiss what I'm saying anecdotal.
I never. But that's just the definition of what, like, we all have our own anecdotal experience, in which the only way to have a conversation about getting somewhere in a productive manner, because we all have literally different anecdotal experiences, we typically appeal to some level of like a stat or a resource, especially if it has been peer reviewed. I'm only going to like the peer reviewed stats that speak about like the total numbers. I don't understand why we would be like arguing about if a person's anecdote is more important than like total stats of a country.
Okay, so there's no way that I don't think either. Well, that was like that was tangential. I was just talking about. Is
that a real word?
Tangential is a real word, but it wasn't. And I didn't even land my point. But
what I was saying is that there was no way that I don't think anybody in here was going to say that like that domestic violence happens less than murder. So I wasn't
right. So like to compare the experience, like when we're talking about like who experiences a thing more, right? And this is where like to me it's like almost like three magnitudes of separation, where I think that I was just looking it up. Murder in general across America is at like 20,000 a year. It might have been. I'll look back at the thing, like this is across America. Domestic violence is like 1.9. If we're making like the argument that men are more likely to get murdered than
nobody's making that argument.
Yeah, y'all were. I think
nobody's making that argument.
My bad. Scroll up a little bit. Ron Dwan actually like agreed with like
the very last.
I agree with Rel. Rel is right. The difference between whatchamacallit, like.
What is it? I can't.
Real is right. Things going left between men can be more dangerous. Your son is more likely to get into beef than a daughter being abused. So when he like the thing was in response to Johnny's question. So he was responding to Johnny's question saying, and we were saying we would be worried about our sons more because our son, like as far as like what Johnny's question was. That's what we were saying. You went to the other point, and it was like that wasn't really the point of what we were trying to do to go into those statistics. It's just there are these variables that men can get into.
Right. if men getting into beef, and what we kept pushing the line to was like it can lead to a nigga getting hurt or offing themselves. And then we're putting the other, like we're diposing that to women in domestic violence. The rate of those two things are just like way different.
And then we're also talking about and I'm not saying that this is another thing. Just because they are able to document that domestic violence happened doesn't mean that the shit happened. And I'm not saying that population of people that is so grand to knock down.
So
your point.
What if we just slash it in half? Let's just slash it in half. Then.
But my point was never to say that that people that get killed more than somebody get the shit slapped out of them. Of course, the slap is fucking right there. Like the fuck, that's not even comparable. I don't even know that would never be my point. That's a stupid ass point.
No, great. My point is that like in mass, there's way more people getting slapped than people that switching. Sure. So if we're like saying, well, and I don't know why we're doing like the battle of the sexes when we're just talking about women's empowerment, but it's like, well, with men, we got to worry more about this because of women. They just got to worry about this thing.
Bro, that is not what I was. That was not my intention. Literally, that was not my intention.
Johnny,
only thing I was. Go ahead.
Johnny, could you repeat your question real quick?
No, my question was about like all y'all got daughters in here, and we're talking about women's empowerment. Do y'all feel like y'all daughters are empowered to be sent out here in the world the way it's set up currently? And if not, what would be some things you would?
Right. Yeah,
I don't think that asked was if we would be more afraid for our sons or our daughters, right?
I mean, that we got there, but the original question is still the original question about your daughters, and like, what do you think they need to be more empowered to do before you send them out there in this world? Because the world's a scary place, man or woman.
For sure.
And like we just talking about women, we just talking about sending our daughters.
All the stats line up to the other side of like Johnny question, the second question. But I do want to.
What was it? Hold on, I want to understand what you were saying. All the stats line up to what now? What
well, like if we're like what we were just talking about, if I would be less scared to send my son that I believe has one like
well equipped.
Well equipped, but then he is the more dominant of the sexes. This is just the reality of it. And this is like, so like he's well equipped, smart, and like rational, isn't like impulsive inside like very specific manners to go out in the world because of he has more control of his outcomes. In comparison, if we just go with like we're talking about like where y'all was making the argument where it's like violent and or leads to murder in comparison to like women and anything that could be outside of their hands. Like typically with domestic violence, if it does happen, and again, we don't have to like debate how much domestic violence happens. If that man want to beat on her, he gonna beat on her.
Unless you got a gun.
But in general, like if a man want, like if it's the other way around, like why I wouldn't be scared of my son being specifically domestically abused, because if he don't want her to beat on her, then beat on him. He has the power to stop that. Like there's a huge difference inside like that when we're talking about like throwing them out in the world. But again, if we then just extrapolate that point to like violence, and I'm just using the two comparative points that y'all use, violence and murder against the two different sexes, I don't think that it even becomes comparable where like with my daughter, I would be sending her out in the world to where violence and abuse from even the person closest to you could be possible in comparison to my son that I can equip him to handle whatever needs to be done.
Or you could equip him to go out and fuck shit up if he really chose to.
Understood. so the I understand the
I do want to still answer that first question at the point. Go ahead.
Damn. The little that shit be fucking me up. Go ahead.
Okay. So my main point would be perspective, and react it one more time just so I can make sure I directly answer your question. Like the first one.
What, sending your daughters?
No. I think it was the way the world is set up right now. Do you feel comfortable with it with your daughter? You framed it some kind of way.
With the way how society is currently set up, are you comfortable sending your daughter out into said society? And if not, what things would you what things would you want her to be more empowered with to be more capable in that society? Like, what do you think? Like, do you think it's more like physical? Would you want to like send her to like self-defense stuff? If it's more just financial? But there's just a lot of different ways. I don't know. I ain't got a daughter, but I just imagine sending the like once your daughter get 18 and you got to send her out there in the world. That's a scary place to be.
I guess like in the perfect world, I would love for America to be a, what is the word? Meritocracy? Is that what it is? But meritocracy, metricology, where it is literally just based off of
Metric.
merit.
Meritocracy.
That's
meritocracy.
what I was saying. Metric instead of meritocracy.
I actually agree with that.
Like to me, I think that is the best framing of like if I would love for my daughter to be sent out there, because to me that's kind of what all the women's empowerment movement is really attempting to do. And I think that there's certain versions of it that then gets into the equality and equity part, in which I think that those.
Before you get too far, where do you see in society where your success is not based on merit?
Like, I don't think America is set up.
Have you heard of the word nepotism?
I was about to say, yeah.
Okay. I just want to see, but like,
nepotism.
so you saying that you believe you would rather it be so that you can't pass down something to your kids? You can't make sure that they're fine based on the works that you've done?
It's not what I specifically.
Well, I'm
saying,
not, okay.
But,
so what?
I think Tone.
Yeah, I wanted to ask. So we actually agree on the meritocracy point, though. That's actually what I was trying to get to, and why I was saying I think the women's empowerment movement is kind of counterintuitive, because like when we keep making stuff like, oh, this is women's problem, this is women's problem, even though if the women are expressing to the men that there's a problem, it should be men's problem too. And I think that's where things get confused. Like when you have this is women's problem and men ain't got nothing to say, shouldn't have nothing to say about it, because like you got a lot of men who are on this side speaking things that women don't want to hear. But you also have the men who do have an opinion that would be up.
But men have historically we got a bad rap because a lot of men wrote them abortion laws.
But it's the thing. We got.
But it was men, like whether old white men. But we talking about men and women right now. We can't split it up.
Those same men who wrote those abortion laws said we was 3/4 of a person and all type of stuff. So it's like I really look at that. We got to look at.
They just period. Like I get it, but like the men now. Black included, they trying to reverse the shit. They trying to reverse Roe versus Wade.
Well, that was also
so I'm not even talking about the past. I'm really trying to talk about now, like what's happening now, like where we are at now. So, would you say men have power now?
Yes,
black men have power.
I don't think black people in general have as power.
I think black men have more power than black women.
Okay, so even with that statement, like that means it's all. Even with it being true though, I think we all got power personally, and I think we just don't realize the power that we have, and we don't use our voice together to actually exercise the power that we have. The women's empowerment movement to me is just another thing that just brings division to us as a people. And it's not that I'm against what the women's empowerment movement is about. Some of the stuff that it's about, there are things that we need to work on. I actually agree with the meritocracy thing as a whole. It's not just for women. That's about men too. If a woman do the job better, put that woman in charge. Like if she has a history. That's
what we do now, though, right?
No, it's not what we do.
Where are you seeing? I'm not seeing this shit. I'm walking around with my eyes closed.
Bro, a lot of people. You got.
The people that do the good job are the people I see doing well in the fucking company.
I think that even if we just look at like the barrier for entry, right? Where I know somebody that right now that's going through, like they're looking for a job and they're trying to find a job, in which. If you go through these employment agencies, first thing they tell you to do is just like network. Your next job is probably coming from somebody that you know or that you're closely aligned with. Where even in that throws out the window of meritocracy. Like the world is not based off of like some version of meritocracy where if your metrics are this, you're guaranteed to get this because of that's what you deserve. So much of it is either nepotism, networking. Like it's just like a long laundry list of things that go before merit. Like even if we don't even want to put gender into it yet, or race, because if those are all variables within it, there's so many things that happened before. Like shit, like even a job that I work at came off of networking before merit. To be honest, right? So these things aren't like non-existent when it comes down to the space. Yes.
So I find it kind of confusing. So you're saying that the way that your path work. So you're saying pretty much that in order you prove to me that you can do the job better than the other person, and we fire the other person to give you the job, or if y'all are competing, you're solely going to get it based on.
I don't understand what you like. Where are you setting up this scenario?
In the meritocracy, it's
so
your success is based on merit.
So the framing of this is for my daughter and her moving forward in this world. I would love for her to be able to get all the opportunities that she has deserved. It's simple as that. This isn't like I'm not sure what you're talking about, where it's like if you got a job and then a person can beat and Hunger Games you for it. I'm not talking about anything like that.
Okay.
Like I'm just speaking about like if you can earn a thing and you deserve a thing, I think that is fire regardless of race, gender,
I'd agree.
any of those things. That I don't think that the world currently is set up that way.
It's not.
That's my entire argument.
I don't think that that'll ever happen because of the fact that the people who already have accumulated the thing aren't necessarily the smartest person in the world, so that they're not going to get. You see what I'm saying? That I don't really, but I understand that would be better, I guess, if it was all based on merit. So the only thing I don't like about it is that it's like the idea of saying that because you're poor, you in a poor neighborhood, your education is going to be poor. And so the chances of you ever making it out is damn near that shit's not gonna happen,
bro.
But we live in an American caste system right now.
And I was
the major majority of everybody stays inside like their socioeconomic level. If you're middle class, you tend to be middle class. If you're lower income, you stay lower income. If you're upper income, you stay upper income. Like people moving classes is rare. Like that's like we already live in that. Like that's what's proven through stats in general. Yeah, like
I mean, I understand, but I think that more of us in our generation are actually moving that different. Like we grew up in poverty and we don't live in the same.
But I think that we are minorities of the big group, though.
I wouldn't disagree with that. Okay. Yeah, no, see, I'm the type, bro, I don't have to stand where I started and still be there. I allow myself to be like convincible through a whole conversation. So I'm just throwing out ideas and trying to make sure I figure out what I actually believe, because I don't know what I believe until we flesh the conversation out.
I think this was a good point Ron made here, and just thinking about it. We can't empower one sex over the other. This division is tearing our community apart.
Agreed.
So it's like when you think about it, yeah, if they're being empowered, who are they being empowered over? Like,
well, this is the same point that I have with like feminism. I'm cool with feminism until it gets to a part of them trying to be what they think the power structure is. And so to me, my only argument with women's empowerment, I think that there's some inequities, and if they're fighting for that, cool. I personally, and this is where like if we talk about if I'm tired, that was the original question. Like I'm not tired because of, for me personally, nothing that they're doing impacts me. Like even like women liberation, that doesn't impact me. I know how to choose the woman that I want to choose, and like if her if whatever those other moral compasses doesn't align with mine, that's cool for them. Like if you want to do whatever you want to do, that's up to you. Same difference with jobs. Like if like any of the things that we would go down the line of, I don't know a point that they argue that actually impacts my personal life.
Yeah, I would say it could have been different, because I can say that child support system is a motherfucker. Divorce is a motherfucker. So I'm cool with you getting your let's just, if you want to be equal, let's make it equal. Don't cherry pick. Where some of these fucking L's. If you feel like we got something you ain't getting, all right, let's give you what you. But where these L's though?
So you saying this
if it's gonna be, let's make that motherfucker across the board. You need to be wearing these joints. Like you getting a lesser sentence for the same crime that I commit. No, we need you to sat the fuck down. If you put hands on me, and then if niggas start calling the police because y'all start domestic violence, y'all niggas violent against niggas, but we don't, because it's not socially acceptable. So like they have the upper hand in that thing. Just like the taking a woman trying to get alimony out, just like trying to get alimony out of your old lady. You was the sassiest bitch ass nigga in the world on the internet. We don't do that because it's socially not acceptable. So we need to be making sure that if we gonna do it, let's make sure we over the fucking
not scope. Exercising their freedoms.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if women, I can't get mad at women advocating advocating for
All right.
themselves.
That's the,
Facts.
they got the freedom to do all that.
The thing is, but it's all about like being socialized to where if you feel that this.
I'm saying, but everybody got, but freedom, like me, being the suburban black dude, you know how many times I have to exercise my freedom to be myself, even when niggas might not understand, might not get it, might not even agree half the time. But guess what? I got the freedom to be my fucking self. And so like with anything, we have the freedom to act like they're more free than us. Now we just choose not to exercise all our freedoms as men all the time, but we have those fucking freedoms.
Yeah, my thing would be like, I can't get upset at them advocating for whatever they feel is right because of we're not advocating for whatever we feel is right as a whole. And that was like the to me what I heard from the point that you're saying. I don't disagree with the majority of the points that you're saying. I just don't place that on women.
Real said my baby mama's going to be on child support.
Like us being
big facts. There would be a lot less. It would be more men that had custody of their kids. It ain't costing fucking $20,000 to get the lawyer to really kind of get the fucking quote. You know what I mean? To battle this shit. Like if it was, I understand the point that y'all both made. A lot of it is not like we are less free. It's just that we don't feel that we are. Like we don't feel that we can make that decision because of we've been socialized to.
I don't feel the strength, to be honest.
Well, I mean, most dudes do. There's a like. I'm not an nigga.
I feel free than a motherfucker right now.
You feel free enough to be a stay-at-home dad?
Hell yeah.
I don't, bro.
I'm free to shit. Well,
nigga, if the opportunity presented me the right way, nigga.
Yeah, I'm saying.
But my thing is that
Shorty,
I don't.
Shorty,
like, y'all
Shorty
talking about
pull up
niggas
with
that give a fuck
600K
about what's like the social consensus is.
Fuck
like,
them people.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm folding clothes. I'm
an
learning how to
advocate.
cook.
Yeah.
If she start beating you calling the police?
Let her try that shit.
Hey, that's my body. Play, bro.
Niggas talking about like to me, like
we calling the police.
Yeah, bro.
Hey, we just turned to the sassy nigga program. Let's go.
Hey, nigga, I'll take it.
I made that mistake once. I'm calling the police.
I ain't go fraud. I had this little girl. I threatened
time.
that shit. I ain't do it though, but I threatened it though. It worked.
Man.
Yeah,
shit ain't worked.
It got off my ass.
Real quick, Rhonda Wan said, scholarships, grants, and business opportunities just for women affects the young boys that can't keep up without the same support. Who are these women going to marry and procreate with?
Bro, they got scholarships for guys. I was in Boys State.
DEI isn't like a woman specific thing.
I didn't say it was specific to them, but it's not something that
he made it seem like he made it
man.
No, a straight white man, a black man definitely.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but what I'm saying is that okay, fuck it. Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I was going. Ron's comment made it seem like they're getting these scholarships at the expense of men getting them.
I don't
think that's the case.
I wouldn't know
because as a man, I have gotten scholarships that were only for men only. Like
I probably had a black male scholarship.
Black male scholarship.
Oh yeah,
Boys State. There are certain things that I got just because I had good grades.
Or was it the black that got you, or was it male? Do you think?
I had certain things because I was a black male. I also had things just because I was a smart male. So like there's different things, but there was all just based on being a man. Let me
just make sure those things that you got. You're saying that it wasn't about being black. Well, I mean, it was.
I did.
It was
some
so
because
they also had one for like black women.
It's called Boys State. It was like a program for boys in high school.
Damn, that's dope.
And you go to the college and you do all that, but it's just for men. And so like that's been out. That's a thing for years. So like they got the same programs for men. They got scholarships that are exclusively for men. They probably got more.
So you saying our problem is we not tapped in. We don't know what the resources out there for us is, and that's the problem. Is that
I think women are better at tapping into those resources.
That I definitely agree with.
They're resourceable for sure. It'll break down. They'll use them pussy walls. They're resourceful.
Nah, they know how. But even
my thing is that my thing is that like I just can't be mad at somebody advocating for themselves because of we're not doing it.
Yeah, I was about to ask a question, then I thought about it. It was like, man, the question kind of sound like I was going to ask the question because I thought this at one point. But would you say that the women's empowerment movement alienates young boys?
Nope.
And I started thinking about it.
That's what I'm saying.
I started thinking about it, and I was like, it's actually not necessarily for them. If anything, that speaks more to us as men that we're not making enough stuff to help out our young boys to come up. I would say that's the thing because I do think our young girls have more opportunities out there, but I think it's
They
more of an
used to-
issue than like
They used to have like programs and shit, like the Big Brother program.
Big Bro-
my
mean-
brother had one. I don't think that shit exists anymore.
In high school, the Omegas used to run this program for middle school
what they
and
had
high
the
school.
Q pups.
Nah, it was called Mail Call.
Yeah, but those same things. I literally just seen on
it-
my social media today. Some boys getting inducted into like the Junior Sigma thing or something like that. Over there, out there on Betty.
So like
Ford Road.
like fraternities have been coming back to these schools because my dad's been like, and it's a bunch of like black Omegas.
Shout
like,
out Kelly.
coaches.
She was the whatchamacallit for my wedding.
But yeah,
The person that said what is it? Not the administrator.
I know the
I
word.
can't even think of the name.
Damn, I know the word.
But you
you're saying.
forget it every time though.
Yeah, but that
It start
person.
con- she married y'all.
Yeah, she got a bunch of sons, and one of them got in. Like they was joining the Sigma fellows.
But the Omegas in Rock Hill have been doing because there's a lot of coaches that are like Omegas in Rock Hill, and like they got their like just this is strictly an Omega Phi Psi for organization. I haven't been a part of it in years. I don't know if it's still going, but we had those programs even in Rock
Young
Hill.
Johnny was throwing the hooks.
Hey, shh. Now don't dap me on that, nigga. They
watching. They call him Grand Chapter Johnny. Okay.
And your mama said the officiant.
The officiant. Yeah.
That nigga talking about officiant.
I would say I had to say it the classy way.
Enunciate. Do y'all want to move forward on this one or y'all?
I think we've hit it.
I think this is a good conversation.
I think we smooth
Hey,
that
real quick, raise your hand if you in a different place than you was like at the beginning of the conversation. I kind of got.
Oh yeah, no, I had fun with it.
I had a fun. I got some different perspectives of a few things from that conversation, so I thought that was good.
I ain't too far from where I was. But
I ain't too far either. Yeah,
I wiggled a little bit.
It was fun.
I wiggled, but yeah, it was a good conversation.
It was fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
you always where you start at.
This
from the
down the hill Q right here.
Yeah, he always where he started at. Ain't no conviction. This nigga, if he talk over 30 seconds, about it, you better believe he taking that shit. You ain't convincing.
He dug into that.
Done.
Hey, baby.
So
I can see certain things. I just have like certain rubrics. Like
I ain't never heard it. I've been knowing this nigga for 15 years. I ain't never heard it.
I didn't see this shit on here multiple times, but usually it comes with like some version of research or stats so you could present an argument. Rail just tap out when you disagree 2 times.
Hey, forget
like,
that. Y'all boys
I
ready to take an L though?
Let's get it.
Hold on, okay. Were there any comments before we push forward?
I mean, besides
feel
what I
like
was reading, I was trying to read them along the way.
Okay.
Let's go on.
We can move forward.
Yeah.
I've been practicing with Nana. I'm teaching her paper, rock, scissors. God
Get
damn.
your ass up out of here.
I need some more practice. Damn. I think
Practice with
Nana,
your
she
son
keep
next
cheating because
time.
she keep throwing scissors out, so she fucking up my practice.
Noah, get that
Now
boy
you
right.
blame it on me. You blame
No.
Hey, I
Get that
got
boy
a
right.
joke. It's been community approved. But you know a lesbian's favorite game?
Scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, I had some I had some smoke for some extra whatever you never mind. I had
Chill
some
out.
smoke for them.
Yeah, you forgot your.
I forgot my
reason for
God. There was the whole reason I came up with the topic was some shit. Never mind.
It was
I went
for the
too-
L's or the B's?
It was for
Half of a
both
T.
of them.
Half of a T.
It was
Almost
for
a T,
Yeah,
but not
Hey, hold
quite.
on. Hey, I gotta beat this guy real quick.
you gotta pray. We just talking. Go ahead.
You ready?
You trash.
Nigga, you lost the first round.
I'm going first, but y'all can battle it out.
Oh, we're doing me.
No, I'm going second.
Fuck you.
I'm going
Let's go.
second. Get your ass up out of here. Get
God
your
damn
ass
it.
up out of here, nigga. You last.
Fuck you.
That's your rightful spot.
Fuck you. All right.
All right, what you got?
Y'all seen Juice? Y'all remember
I
when
got
he
the
was
Oh
Juice
yeah,
now.
yeah.
not Juice?
Tupac joint.
My bad.
This nigga scared.
Nah, not Juice. That's the wrong one. Paid in Full.
Oh, for sure.
You
Classic.
got 13
Juice
bricks in that bag, Ace?
And you remember when he I forget he had the 2 young boys. Y'all remember he had the 2 young boys at that table? And what's that?
What, you talking about his nephew and them? Or?
I know that's Belly. That's
God
Belly.
damn.
You're right.
What the fuck?
Sometimes they be blended into it.
Obviously,
Nigga done went through 3 different
But
movies.
y'all remember when DMX had them 2 young boys that was trying to get his attention at that table, and he just walked away and let them fight. Yeah. I went through too many references to shit on y'all. So I can't even play the moral police right there. I'm gonna tap out on that point. But all my guys inside the chat, that y'all should know. Ron DeWine, I know for a fact that you know the.
He actually talking about the wood.
That's good.
The best man.
When they went inside that convenience store and got their gum. That's what it was. My bad.
Nigga, that happened to those shotters.
There you go. I ain't never seen Shotters. I know it couldn't be that.
Stop this bullshit.
What that Max? What was his name?
Mad Max.
Mad Max. He was crazy.
Nah, that shit's classic, bro. That's one of my favorite movies. I named my dog after that movie.
All right, cool. Let's go to the middle one right there.
This mirror and tell me again what you see.
Well, I see
Pride,
pride. Right.
power,
And I see
a badass mother who don't take no
crap off of nobody.
Again,
I see pride.
can't hear you.
I see power. I see a badass mother who won't take no crap off of nobody.
Once again,
I see pride.
Junior.
I see power. I see a badass mother who won't take no crap off of nobody.
That's right.
Right. Junior Bevel.
He go get his ass whooped.
I can't remember what happened inside that scene, but I thought that was powerful.
You know what that remind me of?
Just little mantras.
Like you remember Will Smith when he was trying to tell Ashley how to fight? Get off of me. Get off of me. And then she went out there and got her ass whooped.
Maybe. I don't remember a lot of Fresh Prince.
Okay.
It sound right, but that didn't seem like he got it when he was going running.
He gonna get his ass whooped. He gonna get his ass whooped.
I said it was Billy.
Yeah, it was Belly. I knew the scene. I had to go through the different little things, but it was deep.
Nah, he was talking about New Jack City.
When Pooja was smoking that crack pipe in the Carter.
They were crying for his shadow buddy. That was the scene.
They used to have them little soundtracks, boy.
Oh, New Jack City soundtrack go crazy.
Yeah. Let's go to top left. Shout out to G on this one.
Shout out to
These are not U.S. military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement. What our initial assessment here is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
You're telling me we don't know what the hell these drones are in New Jersey are? Is that correct? That's right. It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. That's madness that we don't know what these drones are.
From the Coast Guard, who said that one of their 47-foot motor lifeboats was followed by between 12 and 30 of these drones as they went through the water.
These are 6-foot drones that are somehow evading our detection. They are not being detected.
They're saying no threat, but how the hell do they know? They don't know anything. They don't know what it is. They don't know where it come from. They don't know nothing.
They know that they can't track them. They know that they don't emit a signal. They know that they can't see them when they turn their lights out. They also indicated that they don't know where they come from. They don't know where they go to.
One family claims they followed a drone in their car, and while it hovered above them, the clock in their car changed times.
Some of the FBI agents that have been assigned to look into this have reported drones flying over their home.
It's right here over Picatinny. There was a drone just hanging out.
So the aliens from another planet.
So hold on, I guess I'll throw it to you. I think that it seems like you got like
this nigga Johnny finna be funny. Well, go ahead.
Listen, if it's one thing, if you want to have Johnny to have a strong opinion, I never learned this until that one thing. Johnny is not open to anything that deals with extraterrestrial shit of any version,
bro. It is stupid as hell.
But I guess I know I've seen recently in the past 2 weeks. There's been a lot of like different versions of these sightings in America at the coast of New Jersey. There's been a couple different little things.
I think there was in Maryland
where it was like the Coast Guard and then different ship captains, XYZ, speaking about being followed by, I think some was like 12 to 30 drones that moved inside like unmaneuverable ways in which we don't know aircrafts to move today. I seen this popped up and I thought that it was interesting. This goes off the heels of, I think, was it well, there was people from within the government. I think it was FBI, CIA. There were Air Force captains that came and testified in front of the Pentagon, if I'm not mistaken, that spoke very similar about this exact same thing. I'll toss to Johnny and you can get your POV.
No, I think it's just, I don't know. I think it's stupid as hell. Like, to say it's unearthly origins. That's wild because it clearly came from Earth. It uses all the same materials we have on Earth. Why would an alien come from light years?
What makes you think that they're using the same material?
Crazy. See, Johnny, you making up shit now.
I'm not making up shit, but I'm saying, like, you think the aliens gonna come all the way down here and let us find them? Like, if they made it to see us, like, their intelligence level is so much higher than ours. Their communication levels, their technology is so much higher. We're not gonna be able to detect them. By the time we detect them, it's not over.
They want to be detected, I mean.
Bro, you don't think that's some China shit? I just seen something that said China got all the drones.
You
and they got them lined
Did
up.
you see that fucking flight that they just did out there? That was like fucking 1,200. That was probably more. It was some thousands of them motherfuckers.
So why would it be China? Why would they be aliens?
Hey,
like why are we talking about aliens? We just seen China test the 12,000 drones. Right? Like why would we just admit that China got us beat? They over here, but to say it's aliens, that's insane, bro. Because like. It's China or Russia or some other country out here. They're trying to spy on us. That's what they're using them for. They're getting information.
So I guess,
but to say alien, that's so
Johnny, like just staying to where you're at though. Do you believe that China, Russia, or whoever has that far of a intellectual and technical advantage of us?
Yes,
to go undetected and everything with all of our technology.
Yes.
Affect how
I will tell you how they do it. There's something called IP over here, intellectual property. Because of capitalism, you can't steal shit. That don't exist in China. They share secrets, they steal, and they group source until they find the best thing.
So
that's why technology they're ahead of us.
Again, if right now, if they have, let's just say, drones that can defy the laws of physics as we know it, why would they
allegedly? But
continue. Going in the water and everything,
but continue.
I'm just saying, like, if that's what you was engaged in just now. So if these are them, and they have drones just at the base level that now for the past like few years have been defying the laws of physics as we know, what keeps them away from doing anything like that they want to America? I imagine if this on the baseline, they have drones that defy the laws of physics. I would imagine that nothing's keeping them from having multiple things that defy the laws of physics.
They're just now getting this shit. You don't think they're gonna try something against us? And another reason why they don't do it is because we got fucking nukes. And like it's a mutual. It's called mutually assured.
They don't do it, but you saying that, but they doing it though.
They're trying, but they're gradually. It's called escalation. They're gradually escalating the shit. They're not just gonna run up in here all at once. When
they started with the balloon.
They started with the balloon. Now they got the drone. It's called gradual escalation. They've already stole the F-35 from us. They got one flying around in Beijing right now that's better than our shit. And so it's like to say that, like, oh my God, to underestimate them. I think saying it's aliens is an underestimation to the power that those people got. And just because we don't know what it is, just because our weapon can't track it, they might have got some.
So you think that American military is just
possible? But
what do you think them Chinese people or them Iraqs when we came up with the stealth bomber and they saw this thing, it looked like a bird on the radar, but it comes out it's actually dropping bomb. You don't think they was like, damn, how the fuck did they do that? That's some crazy shit. We don't know how they did that.
But
shit.
it don't deny the laws of physics as we know.
Nobody's. You're talking about videos out there that they're unsubstantiated, and like nobody's grabbed these things to actually test them.
What are you basing your claim off of? Outside of this, like,
you got stats, Johnny.
It's not even stats. You're just saying, like,
I ain't got
you're just saying, I believe that they.
But we're talking about.
At least I'm talking about like we're talking about.
But even then, they're talking about a video that they were of a thing they don't have.
Right.
So they're fucking lying too. It's a video of something they don't got.
Nigga Johnny does not believe in the goddamn alien. Hey, this is the strongest I ever seen this nigga stand on anything.
Yeah.
He hot about this shit. We're ignorant, aren't we, Johnny? Ain't even thinking that it could be.
No, whatever. I'm just saying I don't to aliens, bro. Like aliens.
But all right, so we know what Johnny said.
So let me give my
like
stand.
everybody else.
The crazy thing is, if you listen to the way these white people talking about it, and it's not a racist statement, just they sound like they want motherfuckers to really do something about the fact that they find it. Bro, if they are aliens, we obviously don't have anything to fucking compete with what they're doing or to stop them from
whoever you want to say.
Whoever it is, you might want to leave them the fuck alone. Because I definitely don't want to, you know what I mean? It is crazy. Y'all just now started talking about the damn aliens. What was that, about two weeks ago when they was on that? What Q was talking about? I was watching that shit too. That like town hall, whatever, at the Pentagon they had.
They heard me talking shit.
And so now we got these. Now it's increased since y'all told us.
But it's not aliens, bro. They drones.
I'm not debating that part. What I'm saying is, drones whoever it is, aliens. Leave them the fuck alone. I got kids,
bro. They're bothering us. They in New Jersey.
What I'm saying is that
of all the places to go.
The Trump has, if you cannot stop that shit, sounds like you're out of your league. Leave them the fuck alone.
But how do you leave? Like if somebody is poking you, like,
oh, so you think that they should go and fuck with it?
So you got to do something. Like imagine you met somebody.
You seen Independence Day, right?
Bro, it's not a fucking movie, bro. That shit ain't gonna happen, bro.
What I'm saying, have you seen it?
Yes, Will. Yeah, I know.
You want to try? I don't think we got Will Smith out. You know what I mean? Fucking around.
I said that shit at work the other day. I was like, Will Smith ain't coming to save us.
Yeah, I don't think so, bro. I just heard a track with him and Jordan Lucas. My nigga coming back to the rap game. He ain't finna go. You know what I mean?
He dropping bars.
Yeah, he dropping bars.
He trying to get over Jada. He ain't coming to save us.
That's dark.
But no, bro. But like if aliens, like I don't think y'all understand. Like aliens.
So you sincerely believe that we are the only complex organism
in the universe? Absolutely not. I actually do believe there's other intelligent life in the. I went to space camp. But you just don't believe they have a reason to come fuck with us? No, and if they did, we're not gonna know. We're not gonna be sitting here talking about it on podcast.
But what if they know that they're so good that they can show you and there's nothing you can fucking do about it?
So you think, okay.
I'm just asking, what if they just know there's nothing you can do about it? Then what?
So they then flew light years over here just to fuck with us?
No, they're observing.
just a message to do with the nuclear. A prank on us.
We already know
they came all the way over here just to prank us.
Man, now you're being you say now you're having a conversation in bad faith, Johnny. It's called bad faith.
Straw man. But no, I will stand on that. I believe if they come over here, we will not know about it, and if they decide to do something to us,
I say they should prove it to you first before anybody else. Just come over here and knock on Johnny's door. Knock on this nigga Johnny door, bitch.
I wouldn't come out here and tell y'all
with an Asian next to him, like I did not do this.
I swear to God, I wouldn't say nothing. I wouldn't say. I'd be on here shook as hell the next week. I wouldn't say nothing though.
Hey, listen, aliens, if y'all are doing abductions still,
get me first. Come get
one of the ones right here. He want to be
you be playing, bro. You too damn confident for me, Johnny.
He want to be plainly
don't come get him while we here.
No, I don't. I ain't say that. Stop.
Don't come get him while we here though. Do that shit over there.
Stop. Shit, chill out.
You just said you want them to abduct you. That's what they say they do.
But it's the movies, bro. This ain't no movie.
Well, I'm saying, just make sure if y'all hear us, he said, don't do the shit here. Do that shit and Rock Hill at his house.
Me, not y'all.
Yeah, I don't have nothing to do with it.
If y'all want to catch him, I don't know what on that drive back to Rock Hill.
Hey. At the car dealership. Don't be giving my low out, bro.
Hey, drones. I'm just letting y'all know where y'all want to congregate it.
Don't be dropping
not
the
here.
low.
Not here.
But over there at Subaru. And
hey, come get us. I ain't scared.
Now you try to sign other motherfuckers.
Yeah, come get us.
You done?
Oh yeah, I'm done with that one. How much time is that? I'll tap out my last one just because I feel like it'll go for a long time as well.
I'm up. Not real.
Dang, I had you already said.
I swear you're gonna be last every time I fucking win.
But you ain't never gonna win.
I just won last week. What you talking about?
All right, what you got, Johnny?
Okay. Let's start. Could you hit refresh? I don't think.
I just loaded it up.
Okay, yeah, there you go. It's switched up. Let me start with: are you a buffalo or a cow?
Cows can both sense when storms are coming. Cows, for example, sense that a storm is coming and they start running in the opposite direction of the storm. Buffalo do the exact opposite. They sense that very same storm coming and they run directly into the direction of the storm. Now, when the cow runs away from the storm, what ends up happening is it's running along with the storm. It ends up staying in that storm far longer than it ever needed to. Whereas there's the buffalo running directly into the storm. At first, it's very difficult, very loud, very scary, but in a very short period of time, they're through the storm. I've been both the cow and the buffalo, and I learned that all it did was prolong my suffering. I very quickly became the buffalo, and the first time it was one of the most difficult things I'd ever done. But once I did it and realized that you get through it so much quicker, and on the other end is a bright season of your life, then when adversity arises, you sprint towards the opportunity to face things that at one time you feared ever facing. Did you know that buffaloes and cows can both sense?
Or you could be smarter than the cow and the buffalo and run away from the storm until it gets to you and then run back through it.
So would that make you?
That make you tired to go
Yeah,
through
I was
it.
about to say you just did extra work.
What do you mean?
You said run away from it to run through it.
You meant
I
run
mean,
to the
I
side? You meant like if the storm comes in north south, you can run east.
No. I was just pretty much saying if it's gonna come and you're needing to not
This
to
nigga
hit
a
now,
goose.
you're needing not to go through it right now. If you run until it gets to you and then you hurry up and
but you're gonna be tired as a motherfucker.
Not, but
You said run to the storm till it gets to you.
No,
then
run away from it
until
buy yourself the time
until it gets to
and
you.
then
Then you gotta run through.
Then you prepped to go through it.
But then you're gonna have to take a break in the middle of the storm.
I'm built for it tough, bro.
This nigga gonna be getting rained on.
No, I get it. I was just joking.
You know what it reminded me of? Vo came on here and said it best: the R side of fear.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. You got to run through the storms. Like you're gonna always have adversity, and like just anything in life. Shit, it might not even be adversity. It might be that phone call you don't want to make at work, or just something like it ain't even got to be big storms. It could just be little shit you don't want to do. The faster you do it, the faster you get through it. And I saw that. I thought it was a good one. And I've been a cow. I've definitely been a cow in my life. I'm a big
Yeah, you
cow.
can run away,
But like,
and it's so easier to run through it.
I wonder if I was.
It's not
actually
easier.
bullshit.
It's
Yeah,
not.
Don, you missed it, my boy. Hey, shout out Don P. He was a part of the 5 a.m. crew this past Wednesday.
Y'all niggas was up to 5
Oh, he was
a.m.
just talking shit, big shit. Big shit.
Trey was trying to get his grounds back. Trying to.
I don't know if he earned it with them that day.
Yeah, I seen that.
We had fun that episode nonetheless.
Hey, shout out David Walker, man.
No, big shout out.
Shout out David Walker.
That is the homie for sure. Yeah, I think that he helps push a lot of conversations. And
he is a buffalo.
Yeah,
Trey is a fucking buffalo.
That nigga Trey be creating the storms and all.
No, he can create it, but
create the storm,
I think that's
then run through the bitch and create another one. They said what crowd seeding.
right. Yeah, no, I think that, and that's probably where like me and him butt heads the best at is because of he's going to stand on this square, and he ain't budging too much. It don't really matter what you call him, what you say, X, Y, Z.
And what you gonna do?
Trey, I typically like that's what y'all just said about me.
Exactly.
Y'all just said I'm gonna stand on the square and we just keep doing this over and over.
Hey, what was that game back in the day where they had the boxes?
Rock'em Sock'em.
Rock'em Sock'em. That's y'all. Like
yeah.
Yeah. But bro, I think sometimes I am like what I said, even though I was joking and thought about it, I actually sometimes do like run away from the thing until I actually have to deal with it and then run through, you know what I mean? Then deal with it head on and like really, you know what I mean? Because I think that sometimes like I kick the can down on certain things, down the street, you know what I mean? But I know I'm gonna pick the bitch up when I gotta pick it up, you know what I mean? Throw it in the recycle.
But now it got dirt in it and all kind of shit that you gotta clean
Yeah,
up.
yeah, and sometimes it is to the detriment. So I want to be a bull all the time. You know what I mean? Buffalo all the time. But you know what I mean, just me being honest, like I ain't gonna sit here.
When you
and act
say
like
bull, you mean bull dagger? What you mean? I know what you meant. What do you
Man, fuck you, bro.
You did it, bro.
I'm above that. I'm above that. Oh no, I was gonna shoot at a bulldogger earlier with that first topic. She actually the one that made me think of the whole topic and I forgot.
Oh, that kind of shoot. Oh.
Yeah. Oh no. Bro, fuck you, bro. I'm next. Oh no, it's on Johnny.
Let me get the next one.
Oh, that's the homie right there, ain't it? You got De Niro up there.
De Niro, I'll go play him if I had a chance. See, he just dropped some new shit.
Oh, I seen him. That's the one he was doing. The dude told him to.
He said, "Damn, they're like right on me." Hey, nigga, rap that shit you did Saturday.
Yeah, I seen that.
Hey, let me get the second one. Section 8 to the end.
This is what wealth inequality in the United States actually looks like. This grain of rice represents $200,000. That's about the median net worth of a citizen in the United States, which means if you took our population and drew a line split down the middle, about half of us have this much or less. Half of us have this much or less.
Yeah.
Just going to put that down right there. 1 grain of rice. This is $1 million. 5 grains of rice. When most of us think rich, we think of $1 million. This is $100 million. This is about the net worth of CEOs who delay and deny care for sick Americans.
Hey, shout out to
This is
HML.
also about the net worth of CEOs who tell Americans to eat cereal if they can't afford food for their hungry kids. This is $277 million. This is Elon Musk's personal investment in the 2024 elections. This is what he spent to buy the presidency. This is $1 billion. This is the approximate net worth of Vivek Ramaswamy. Only 800 people in the United States have this much money or more. As a frame of reference, think about how many people you went to high school with. Only 800. And this is $6.3 billion. This is the approximate net worth of Donald Trump. He recently said in an interview that he doesn't think he can bring grocery prices down after running his campaign on a promise to do so. He also blames immigrants who have less than a fraction of a grain of rice each for a lot of the financial troubles facing our country.
Interesting.
And this is Elon Musk. He's worth $400 billion. He spent $277 million on the 2024 election cycle while we have homeless veterans on our streets and hungry kids in our schools. This is what actual wealth disparity looks like in America. Each grain of rice.
And just imagine, we're talking about like
$200,000.
We're at a half
Musk also
grain.
wants to fire 75%.
Not even a full one of them,
federal
a half of it.
workforce,
Yeah,
which includes
like
the majority of
personally,
veterans.
I'm still
They want
trying to get the whole
75%
grain.
of
Yeah,
these
I'm
people
still
who have a
trying to
single
get.
Hey, you know how good you would feel
trying to
about
earn
being a
living and
grain?
feed their
I would feel really good about being a grain. 200,000.
But the thing that blew my mind is Elon Musk got all them fucking grains, and he trying to fire people who make 1 grain
or less,
and it's like the nerve of you, motherfuckers, like to
hold on, you talking about the idea? I'm making sure I
the
understand.
DOG that
taking out
government-
those. All he was saying, making this government smaller.
Yeah, you firing people that make 1 of those grains out your stack, and you trying to say
Depends on what
that,
the fuck. I ain't saying I disagree with
No,
it. just
but
because of that,
but
though.
like if 1 grain versus all the
No, I
grains he
understand
got,
what you're saying.
and Donald Trump, they're clearly the issue with why inflation is happening and all of that. Like it's clearly in their hands, and they have the power to change that. Like you don't have all them grains, and you blaming people with half a grain for the issues of this country.
So, question: do you believe that a person with that kind of money is or has a responsibility to bring the bottom up?
Absolutely. You saw how much he spent on the election?
That's still controlling power.
But you shouldn't be able to spend that much on the election.
I 100%.
Like so if you have the ability, like we got to take that out of it in some kind of way, because like if you got all those grains, you seen the power was crazy for Elon Musk, and he just took a scoop of that, bought the election, he bought his boy, and then now you're gonna go and fire people that's making the 1 grain. It's like it's not fair. Like that system, however that works, it's not a fair system.
I think
for the people who only got half a grain.
No,
you're not gonna say that system is fair.
Capitalism is not going to be a fair system. Just it's not going to be a fair system. If you're talking about bringing the bottom, like having a floor for everybody to sit comfortably,
everybody get 2 grains.
That just ain't gonna happen. But I mean, at the end of the day, then you just fucking bring down the value of the grains. So I mean, that isn't really help anything.
There's so many grains out there that are being hoarded by people that are literally trying to come in here and fire us.
So if you're talking about, what is it called? Redistribution? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
I don't disagree with it conceptually, but what I'm saying is that
that makes way more sense when you lay it out like that. You can understand.
Right. Well, I mean, what I'm saying is that if you're the point that you were making about firing the people, if these additional agencies or whatever the fuck are useless spending to our benefit, if it's not beneficial for like the public, for these people to hold these positions, and it's not doing something to provide a service for us, then it is useless.
But my issue is the money is not getting wasted with those people that's getting paid $100 grand for their job. The money is getting wasted by the CEOs who have military contracts and industrial military complex, and they're spending grains by the clump. It's not the people though. Like, you can't blame the people for.
But I mean, at the end of the day, I understand that's just like the whole healthcare thing, the with Luigi off and bruh. Like, you can't blame, you know what I mean, the entire, of course, there are people that are making the decision. There's a board. There are people that are making the decisions, and you can't blame. But if we have to tear the thing down to rebuild it new and it be effective and fair for people, then that just has to happen. Or do we just keep paying these motherfuckers just cause?
No, that's what I'm with, tearing it down. I'm with redistribution.
Okay, you didn't agree with where you stood at first. It's fine. We can move forward. Box, nigga.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro? I'm for redistribution. That's the point of that. So what point was you making?
No, it was 2 separate things. We were talking about firing. He was talking about him firing all of those people and them losing them jobs. They're not the problem. What I was saying is that if they're in there doing something that is not beneficial to us, as even like you talk about the people at the healthcare, you know what I mean? Comparing those 2 things. Do you see what I'm saying? Or do I want me to write it down?
A little bit, but I mean, I think it's speaking to my point too. Even the healthcare people, like, they should get taken out, like, because like even the Atrium Health.
But you was just arguing against them losing their jobs. It's not that serious, John. I don't really care.
I'm talking about the small people, not the bigger people. I think the small people shouldn't lose their jobs. That's what I was arguing.
Okay.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about the big people, but even the CEO of Atrium Health just forgave the debts of 11,000 people.
Oh, that was still
but you know what they was doing though? They was seizing assets. They was putting foreclosures on homes and stuff and doing that. And old buddy got popped. And old buddy came. And old buddy got a $2 million raise this year. Think about, like, he could have took that, like, and you're foreclosing on people's homes because they can't pay medical debt.
Hey, what's that movie with identity theft? You seen that? It's like the same thing, but that's a funny movie, bro. You should watch it, bro.
No, I'm trying to think if I have seen it or not.
It was with the heavyset white lady.
No, man, I don't think maybe not.
She's a comedian. It was good.
But yeah, no, that's all I gotta say. I just think it's our system in America is crazy, and the shit like Luigi, it's gonna be more of that shit that's happening. I don't condone it, but like, people are clearly unhappy, not satisfied, not content.
I condone it
with the way. Okay, well, he said it, not me. So the aliens gonna come get me. They gonna come get
who is they? What the fuck did I just? Who is they for me?
The insurance companies, I guess.
I don't know whoever you gonna get.
Oh yeah, I don't need them. I got kids, bro.
Try to make a claim next week.
No, hell no. I need them to be fair.
And then I just got one last one.
All right.
There's the old buddy at the.
Which one?
Yeah, top right. Nah,
you go to the club with your homeboy, and then he introduced you to his home, like his homeboy end up coming or whatever. You just met the nigga. He get into some static, like near y'all. Do you help him fight?
Nope. Nah. We partying together like same section in our section. He done came in our section.
Yes,
he
a
not,
nigga come over there. He's
nigga fight.
If it's a one-on-one, let them boy go at it.
No one-on-one. One nigga set it off, and then the rest like.
If your homeboy hit with him too, he's gonna end up fighting too.
Yeah.
If it's three,
that means you gotta fight.
Yeah.
If it's three of them,
that's how it end up happening.
If it's three of them and it's like 5 of us, I'm gonna hit his ass with that bottle.
Nah, but you gonna help him.
Nigga, you going to jail.
One thing about it, I got hit with a bottle, bro. When nigga hit that bottle, nigga tighten up.
Especially a Ciroc.
Here with it.
You know how thick a Ciroc bottle is?
Look, I'm not lying.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Nigga got me right. Nigga been on point ever since.
They approaching this person. You don't know what he did to them. This gonna go after the club.
Yeah, that's
and I don't know you. You feel me? The best I could do for you is getting them off you.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody swing at me, then like I'm kind of into the scuffle, but I'm not finna be on full attack for you.
Yeah.
If you decreasing it,
and then the nigga
try to
black you.
Oh nah, it's a problem.
I switch my answer to that.
Yeah,
I agree.
But think y'all know some of the
this is the reason.
Imagine really beefing with them for the next 5 years. Now your whole life done changed. You like Ghost. Now you can't get out the game.
You go to the club with your home.
So what is niggas going to the club for?
I just think it's a good.
Well, the club is fun.
Hypothetical.
What do they do in the club? Because I'm assuming that
bro,
niggas
been
don't
to
get
the club,
that.
bro.
I'm talking about in the like at this age with the music. That's come on, bro. You know what the
you
fuck
get
I'm
you get a
talking
nice
about.
little section. You got some.
But you
videos
don't
that pop
dance.
up on
Like,
you.
you don't dance with girls in the club, right?
You talking about like the dance floor?
Now,
I
the
think
thing about the section is you bring them to the section and you can do whatever you want to do.
Okay,
that's the beautiful thing about the section.
You be
when they not out, when they're not in the section.
I've had a section or two.
They outside just looking, blowing. What's some little vape things? They got vapes and fans. Vapes and fans.
Oh, you talking about the? You talking about the? Yo, you talking about?
Oh,
that's a different. That's a different section.
Bar.
That's like that section is different because like you can't necessarily touch the product. You get a regular section.
No, you can actually touch the product on that. What you mean? You get more leeway at the that section. But
y'all niggas, bro.
But I think that
I wasn't there.
There, my bad.
But
and then you see this funny. He finally came out with the fact that I didn't go. I let y'all run with that joke the whole time, and I never pointed it out. I just let y'all rock with that.
He was making a joke that you went.
Yeah,
he was.
Probably because it was funny because you
I wasn't
didn't go.
hot about it.
Yeah, we only made the joke because you obviously didn't go. Then I don't remember.
But I let y'all run with that on the show. That was the reason. Something about my wife was mad or some shit. I let y'all just have that for like fucking 8 months.
I don't even remember it, but it sounded like a funny joke that we made though.
You done?
The beginning of this actually reminded me, just to bring them back to it. It reminds me of like me and Trey, one of our first. I don't know if it was our first, but it was one of our first interactions.
What happened, bro?
Where
nigga kicked Trey out the car.
Yeah. Like I met Trey I met Trey on behalf
I've heard
of
that
Johnny.
story before.
I met Trey on behalf of Johnny, and I can't remember what happened. But we driving and Trey being Trey and me being me. Like he had to get up out of there. Johnny was like, "No, you can keep driving."
Yeah, I ain't getting kicked out the car. I ain't say that.
Hey, hold on, Johnny. You let your homie walk by himself.
Yeah,
you was supposed to get out with him.
No, I didn't get Trey got kicked out. I didn't get kicked out.
But if you know, like he'd be on his own type time.
Trey,
and like
Trey stood on business. All he had to do was be like, "Nah, bro, it's cool." He didn't. Like, he just didn't want to.
Well, I don't even because it wasn't me inciting a thing. I can't remember what it was.
You suggested it.
I suggested what?
Him get out the car, and then he was like,
"Oh no!" But I suggested that for a reason. I can't remember what the reason was. I think Trey was just being Trey in the back seat. I can't. We was coming back from a bar or a club.
I think it was Grits and Biscuits.
Might have been. But
shout out to Grits and Biscuits.
Whatever reason why we was driving in the car and he had some shit. Maybe he wanted to stay longer or something like that.
Well, no, y'all was upset with me and Trey. We was out there talking to like we was shooting shots in the end, and like
I was upset about that.
It was time to go.
I think you had. Yeah.
Oh, I had a move to make. Yeah. All right, see that makes sense.
You had a move to make,
and then and this actually was it. Okay, yeah. I'm dropping niggas off. I got a move to make, and they still shooting, and I'm the ride. and then they get in complaining because I said we got to leave afterwards.
Oh yeah, you can get the fuck out.
Yeah, and so I'm like, hey, bro,
Trey was complaining.
Understand, like I didn't even have to take you home.
Yeah,
and that's kind of where
that makes sense. That makes sense. Johnny, you were still supposed to walk with your homie, bro.
That's what Don said.
Yeah, you were still supposed to get out and walk with him, bro. You can't let that nigga walk by himself, bro, because you brought him. He didn't know him, bro.
Bro, it was 100 yards, bro. Like it was miles. Like
it sounds good.
Nah, I was apologetic.
If it was 100 yards, it wouldn't have been, it's not even. That's even make it worse, bro. It's not even that big a deal.
That's why I didn't get out. That's why
Johnny ain't worth for fuck, bro. Ain't worth for fuck. Johnny, he put that video in there just to let us know that he ain't going. Some shit pop up. Johnny is not going.
Well, nah, I put it in there because like if I throw a punch, hell yeah. Now I'm not gonna throw a punch for old buddy, but if my homeboy getting,
I think that most of them kind of like split the line right there. Like when a homie get into it, like that nigga, he fighting over there by himself.
But then once you go or y'all go, then I'm like, shit. Now
it's no longer ones, and then it's like, it's a lot happening.
I remember this one time I actually stole off. This dude was fighting my homie, and it just happened. You know what I mean? I was just reacting. I ran over there and hit the dude, and realized it was a one-on-one fight. I ain't gonna tell the whole story because it fuck around and you know what I mean.
You dropped him?
No, I ain't dropping him. I actually did once. I was realizing
this
it
not
was a one-on-one fight.
Limitation.
No, I don't think this motherfucker.
Well, not continue.
Nah, fuck it. We're gonna move on.
Henry was out here pointing fingers a week ago or 2 weeks ago.
Tell him the whole story.
Yeah, this ain't past the statute.
He said it was you, nigga.
No,
you.
Hey,
Newton, I don't know if he was there, but it was him too.
All right. Anyways, motherfucker. Just play. Tone, get off the phone.
Bro, your mama keep texting me, man. I can't help it.
That was a good one.
What you want?
Give me D'Lo Brown. Tell me y'all remember this, bro. Remember him. It's quick.
I done seen him in an interview recently.
Scroll up, yeah. Tell me. You remember that?
Yeah.
That was my boy.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me you done the D'Lo walk, bro. Johnny, you wasn't in the
Yeah, it don't look as cool. It don't look as cool no more.
It like some AKA stuff.
Yeah, it don't look as cool.
No, it definitely don't look cool. It wasn't about it looking cool. It was just the fact that
it's a serious matter. Yes.
All right. Go to the one above that one, the church house. I'm gonna knock these out quick because I want to get them through.
You said the church house?
Yeah,
right
it's
above it.
with the right above it. Check the passing.
Look at your neighbor and say he's a meat stretcher. He'll stretch your meat. Hallelujah. Look at your neighbor and say he's a meat stretcher.
What?
He'll stretch your meat. Hallelujah.
Hey, that's funny, bro.
Say he's a
You
meat
ain't gotta repeat it. Let that fish fly like 4 times in a row.
Look at your neighbor and say he'll stretch your
stretches. Like, no, that is insane.
That's insane. I don't know how he didn't catch that was inappropriate.
What was he trying to fucking say?
But God will, like, you know what I mean, stretch the meal.
Oh, like,
yeah,
5 fishes, 2 loaves of bread.
Right.
Meat stretch. That's what you came up with. That's what you came up with.
Well, people in this world, bro.
God said I had 5 fishes and 2 loaves of bread, and you called him a meat stretcher.
Hey, that's the foot, bro. You gotta love social media. This is my favorite part about social media. It's just the fact that people just out here saying and doing anything, bro. It's just it's a good thing to be able to just look at. Now, listen, let's go to that old head dude. 2 from the second one from the bottom. Listen to this nigga, bro.
When you shoot that tongue in that ass.
This ain't God.
Oh my God! No, this ain't God. This is Stanley Earl.
Hey, these niggas is hilarious, bro.
Stanley Earl, a fucking freak.
Stanley Earl is a hell of an old nigga name.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie.
Nah, facts.
Yeah, they used to always have them 2 first names.
and then go to the last.
Two old nigga
We'll
names
knock
too.
this one out.
Yeah, Earl.
This dude, I don't know if y'all follow that old dude that you about to see, man, but he is hilarious. We ain't got time to be popping next.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thanksgiving over, right? Yeah. Okay, now what we said we was gonna do when Thanksgiving over, remember?
What?
We said we were gonna start our diet.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember
Oh,
that.
okay. Well, you ready to hear what we gonna do?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah.
Okay, well, on day one, we're gonna have just all fruits and vegetables. So you guys, I'm gonna pack you a lunch to take to work with you because you can't have no bread, no rice, no cold drinks. You gotta drink all water. And you drink fruit, you eat fruit and vegetable during the day. And in the evening time when you come home, I'm gonna have us some chicken and broccoli or chicken and green beans or something.
I don't even eat broccoli.
Well, I know, but you eat green beans.
Yeah, I eat green beans.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna have fixed for us today. But you can't have nothing sweet, no sweets, no peppermint, no gum, no nothing.
Well, I tell you, baby.
What, baby?
I really want to lose weight. Because I did good one time.
Yeah.
But if I can't have none of that, I'm gonna die a fat motherfucker.
Allison, you gotta at least give it a try.
Yeah, but hey, you can't have no rice, no bread,
No rice, no bread,
no
rice.
your cake, no pie,
no spaghetti.
I'm out.
I talk about
Okay. Thanksgiving over, right?
Hey, that's funny you said it because that was the reason why it made it. The spaghetti at the end. I was like, oh, Johnny's done. Oh, all right. I'll tap out.
I'm gonna die, fat motherfucker.
Say, because he's a meat stretcher.
He's a meat eater.
Oh man!
Talk to us, Stone.
Jeez.
Yeah, let me see. Mine gonna go pretty quick this time. I ain't had that real
meat
serious.
eater.
Hannibal.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through some real quick. Mine was more funny this week.
After this, I'm trying to get this in. When I go too far down the dick, I do be having like a little sore throat.
I want y'all to peep her throat though.
That's how I suck it.
Do y'all think she got abs on her throat?
Only the ones that pay me attention.
What?
She got abs on her throat.
After this, I'm
Oh,
trying
that
to
an
get
Adam
this in.
devil.
She got abs on her
When I
throat.
go too far down the dick, I do be having like a little
Nah, she
sore
got
throat.
abs, bro.
Or is that an Adam
Bro,
devil?
she got abs on her neck. When y'all look after the show, remind me to show y'all this up close, bro. She got abs on
Yeah, I
her
seen
neck.
it. I seen it on the far out view afterward. What does that mean, though?
Bro, she got to be working that throat. to have
Oh,
some abs.
okay. I know like, it can mean a bunch of different things. but-
I'm good on the
Yeah, you
abs
was
on
listening
the
to what she
throat.
was saying. though.
Johnny, you not getting the super.
I'm all right.
You single, Johnny? You ain't getting the girl that's doing the neck curls?
Nah,
Just working it out.
yeah, nah.
Practicing on crab
she,
legs.
she compensating for something else. I'm good.
Oh, okay. This is another one.
Let me ask you this. After this, I got one. Bad box, bad head.
Hold on, wait a minute. Which one would I rather have, or which one's worse?
You can go with both of them.
Nah, I'd rather have bad head than bad box.
Okay.
Like, yeah,
I'd agree.
Yeah, like you can work with but bad box ain't no fixing. Ain't no fixing bad
Yeah, we
box.
can critique. We can critique.
like it's
the way you go.
bad head. That's a skill level thing.
Right,
like
right, right.
we can get you in the gym. We can figure that out.
So now,
Bad
let me
box.
ask the other side of it. Amazing box or amazing head?
That nigga stressed out over there.
Because like amazing box is amazing box.
With amazing head.
Like if it ain't bad box, it's damn near amazing box. But like head is such a variable.
It's nuanced.
It's nuanced. If you get some amazing head, like like I'm in love now. So
Dom, he said Johnny be like that Becky head.
How he know too? He knew y'all was from the same city. God damn it!
Hey, I'm gonna go ahead and make this one. I'm gonna go ahead and make one announcement. I'm gonna admit it. They ain't the best.
Oh,
buddy.
They're not the best.
He said, I'm
myth.
not like him. I'm not like him.
Say that's a myth.
Johnny drawing a line in the sand. My dog Trey said, "Hey Johnny, it's okay." What do you say? Tell him in your ground. No, I don't know if that was an after show, during the show, or before it, but
hey, but you know, people keep telling that to Johnny. When Alvin was here, he said the same thing.
Yeah, they connected on the.
Bro, yeah, like it's
niggas
like
been getting sympathetic for you for what, Johnny?
And it's like I ain't even nigga made one slip up, and you get a reputation out here in these internet streets.
Oh damn! I didn't know that was your only slip up. That's what's up.
Man,
what
recently?
At least you honest, Johnny. I appreciate the honesty. Hey, who was it? Who was that called in at the end of the show Wednesday? That was the respect that he gave to Trey. He was like,
"Oh, that's Don P. right there."
Oh, that's Don P.
Yeah, it's Don.
What up? And bro was like, "I appreciate that you stand. You can be honest about it.
I disagree, but you're gonna stand on your ground."
Yeah,
I feel it.
He couldn't say nothing good about what he was talking. It was like he didn't want to go into the ad hominems.
Like at least
so he took the high road. Exactly.
Oh yeah, this is the next one I had.
Oh, that's good, bro.
It was good.
Hold on, does that mean it's nature or nurture?
That's what I've been.
I don't really go through the nature version of it.
So it means
I think it's that it's mainly probably just nurture and social.
So that means you can forget about it. That's what happens with Alzheimer's. You forget, like your grandkids, your children, and stuff. So
dang, that's crazy though that could even happen, bro.
You know that they said that we're the only country that doesn't diagnose Alzheimer's as what do you say? Type 4. Yeah, I thought it was type 4, type 3 or 4 diabetes. They said that shit come from sugar.
Yeah, I heard, and I guess this goes back to homeboy, like
shit.
the other.
Now that actually,
it's crazy.
I don't know if that was that
like
yours
alcohol?
or was it?
Well,
what you call it?
But no, I'll tell you this. When like,
He's talking like bro, just trying to get a whole comment.
well, now when you said that though, like, cause like my pops got diabetes, and when the sugar go up,
you get active.
With like I literally just noticed that like when you see somebody's when their sugar is real high, it's over 200, they start having symptoms that's very similar to like an Alzheimer's or like a dementia. And it's crazy that like you just said that like I ain't never put the 2 and 2 together like that to just now. Damn, that shit well.
Yeah. No, going back to I don't know if it was Rails or if that was one of the tones was just a second ago, but the one about home, like the old dude and eating and food and shit like that. I think that like it's fun to joke about it and it was a good meme, but there is also a thing about our diet as it exists, in which does need to be evolved for sure. Because you know what I mean, like we all have, like if we all understand our family history, we all see how it has impacted us. But the hard thing about it is that like we don't talk about how addictive sugars are, how addictive like a lot of these different things are that over a longer span of time has a detrimental effect on us. When I learned about, like I've recently just learned about the whole diabetes 3 or 4, I can't remember which one it is, about Alzheimer's, but that's definitely something that I know I'm trying to work towards being more intentional about. Like like everybody do their New Year's resolutions. That's one of the things that's on my list when it comes down to New Year's resolutions, is that like I'm gonna turn it up these next 2 weeks while I'm off work. But after that, I do want to get like way more concerted about my sugar consumption and alcohol consumption, primarily based off of the studies that show long-term ramifications with Alzheimer's and things of that nature that deal with inside that that realm. Yeah.
Do you not think like even us as our generation, we eat healthier than our parents' generation? Because I think like we have like noticed that, and I think it's a lot of changes.
I think that there's people that eat healthier. I don't know if like in general.
I say this. It's a lot more ingredients than the stuff. Like we can be eating the same thing our parents was eating. There's a lot more ingredients in it, and that's the more.
But I think we probably eat way more fast food than our parents.
Yeah, we probably do.
You think even still? Because I think a lot of like fast food.
All niggas do is DoorDash and go out to eat quick.
Yeah, they be DoorDash like a motherfucker.
But
you see, he was guilty. You see,
no, it's not because I'm guilty. But I think it's on. I think that has peaked. I think we're on a decline of DoorDash. I think like
we not on no decline of DoorDash.
I don't got.
I don't know, but you're still comparing that to our parents' generation, is what you said.
Oh yeah, they didn't have that shit.
Yeah, but on top of that, like if you go and look at the ingredients, like just if you go back 20 years ago and you see the ingredients in some of the stuff, it's a reason like a lot of foods taste different now. Where we like, man, this used to be so good and this tastes terrible now. Like
you can take. When the last time you had Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
I don't really eat cinnamon.
I let my daughter try it out because I'm like I want her to try the different cereals to see which one she actually likes.
I used to get that though.
That shit's so sweet. Well, I know as I gotten older, I can just smell sugar. Like that shit just.
But that's just us being older.
Yeah, you don't eat.
I just said as I get older.
I'm about to say you don't eat a lot of sugar either though.
Yeah, I don't eat.
And that desensitizes it heavily as well.
I can smell the sugar, but they got fucking sugar in the damn toothpaste. And the last thing I was gonna say is that
you got sweet ass toothpaste.
I'm pretty sure you use a sweet ass toothpaste too, motherfucker. But
I use black toothpaste.
Nah, you should order some stuff from Eritrea and see what the ingredients are in that.
I use that purple shit.
But I wanted to say one more thing before we get off of it is that because I generally go to do the shopping for the family, and one thing that I am noticing is that bioengineered food ingredients. They started putting that. This was in the last year. They started like damn near if you eating any kind of like sweet cakes or any of that shit, those little cakes, that shit has bioengineered food ingredients. I was looking at like the spaghetti. Oh, you spaghetti nigga. So yeah, I
make my own.
Oh, you make your own spaghetti sauce. So if you look at even like the a lot of pretty much damn near every spaghetti, I found a brand. I think it's Rio's. That shit like $8 a goddamn
Rio's
can
is
though.
good. Yeah, that's a good one.
And they make the
noodles,
the chicken Alfredo. I mean the Alfredo sauce, and it doesn't have the bioengineered food ingredients in it.
Quit giving me the side eye, bro.
Nah, for real.
When you say you make your own spaghetti sauce, what do you mean?
I just let him fucking go with that. I just let him go.
I was about to say if you go
continue, Ray. Continue. Continue.
If y'all look at that in the ice cream section,
tell that damn lie.
What do you mean by that?
I was gonna say if you look in the ice cream section at the store, you notice that that what's dwindling down. You got less brands that say ice cream now. They all say frozen dairy dessert. If you pay attention, like it's less that say ice cream now.
I'm lactose intolerant. I don't even go in that now.
Oh man.
Oh shoot! I had this last week.
It wasn't even necessary. Stupid.
Real quick, climate change or Duke lacrosse? Climate change or Duke lacrosse?
Duke lacrosse.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard about that this week. Y'all remember what happened with that girl in the lacrosse team? Some years ago.
Yeah, that was like when I was at.
Yeah, Shorty said she lied.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
Damn, you was there when that shit happened.
I testified falsely against them by saying that they me when they didn't, and that was wrong.
They need to lock her ass up.
I betrayed the trust of a lot of other people who believed in me.
See, fuck, I was talking about earlier.
And made up a story that wasn't true because I wanted validation from people and not from God.
I don't give a fuck.
And that was wrong. And I hope that they can forgive me.
No, bitch.
And
that's stupid.
I testified falsely against them.
That's crazy.
By saying that they mean when
is
they
she,
didn't.
she in jail? I see a comment that's saying it, but I don't know.
Your mom said I don't know if she is.
I betrayed.
Yeah, I don't think she.
Hold on, they were white. Yeah, they was Don P.
I hope. Now that was the thing. A lot of people were saying they didn't care because the people was white, but I'm like, nah.
But I don't care about that, bro. No, go and sat down. What did they give them?
No, they beat the case. I think.
Yeah,
they beat the case.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
so calm down, Rail. You know they ain't gonna send them good old white boys to fucking jail.
They held her ass accountable. She went to jail. Dog.
That's crazy. That was 18 years ago, though. They said that was after 18 years.
That sound about right. Damn. I'm an old nigga. Yeah, my 20th coming up soon.
I know what you're thinking, Don. I get it.
Yeah, but I can see my time. We had another conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we rock, paper, scissors?
No, you can go. I like yours better.
30 minutes.
Okay. Let me see. I tried to write some notes so I can kind of be concise with my thoughts and opinions. So it's kind of a branch off of a little bit of the conversation from last week. So yeah, I feel like nonetheless, I wrote down some things. If y'all give me like a 2-minute ISO, maybe I feel like it'll be probably like maybe 2 minutes. And I'll go to y'all.
Can I have one concession if you can make? Like if you go, I think it's easier like to give you. Are you going to ask the question and then start to give like more information about, or are you going to ask the question and then give your opinion?
I don't think I'm giving my opinion at all.
Right okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
Continue.
All right. So community versus individual. Who holds the power in Black progress? So last week I attempted to make a point that our leaders in the Black media space that have amassed a large following and are profiting off of Black progress should be at minimum held accountable for providing not just subscriptions, but also organizing/planning solutions for Black progress to whichever sector that they're in. But instead, we get a lot of fear, division from both sides of the aisle. So in me making those accounts, just asking for accountability for Black leaders in the media space that have amassed large followings, XYZ, profiting off the people, which again, there's nothing wrong with profiting off the people, but I think that, you should probably, offer something to it. Words was on like cooning and looking for a savior. I thought that was interesting, right? Even though like I know I personally wasn't looking for them to like save me or anything like that, but just the accountability of if you did actually
they hurt your feelings last week.
No, I wouldn't like I ain't really care about it. But I thought that an interesting conversation came out of it. You said what?
Said it did so. But go ahead.
Oh, I guess. No, I enjoy like going further. Like this is
bro. It was just a joke.
Obviously, it's a joke.
Yeah,
I think like you're repointing the thing that I already knew that it was. Like it was a joke. Like I don't care about it.
I got you, laugh, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah. It was a joke. But to me, the most interesting part of it was that, and it sparked kind of this conversation when I rewatched it, and it was like, these are such interesting points. Like once we get off like the ledge of like name calling and shit like that. And I thought the interesting parts was inside the rebuttals, where again, I'm hopefully going to characterize it straw man, steel man. Where I thought that on an individual level, if they impacted the general life advice, impacted the people with general life advice, that was good enough. Heard that point thrown out. Heard also that Black people don't actually want anything done for them. It just sounds good. That was a part. And that we're not organized and platforming properly the people that we need to hear, like a Claude Anderson. Maybe a couple other ones. We're here, so we can kind of talk through it. But I've also heard from this exact same group that it's about the collective community and doing what's best for not just them as individuals in your interests in progress. We've heard that often, especially when we talk about voting, economics, and Black progress in general. So I just would like to throw out to y'all and understand it and just get a consensus, because it seems to kind of contradict each other. Is it about the community or is it about the individual? And are y'all just switching depending on the topic?
So I'd like to start.
Was that directed to anybody in particular?
Oh, that'd be Tony and Real, I guess.
I should have been part of it. I was doing something.
If I was to go to
so repeat that again.
But give me like the actual question. What's the question? Just the question by itself.
Community versus individual. Last week, y'all made points and notches to the individual and why that was important for the Black progress, and not as much as like community organization and profiting. In comparison to like previous points that y'all have made that dealt with how the power of the individual didn't necessarily matter.
Okay, so first I want to clarify, if you go back to last week's episode, I said the individual is part of the group, and that does affect the group. That was my whole point about the individual, as far as the individual does affect the community.
Right. That's typically the like whenever I get into my POV on a lot of things, it's typically dealing with how the individual impacts the group. And there's usually a different version of the conversation, and y'all kind of side on the group, in which I'm just here to.
Hold on, because it was clear that what we were saying was that something just to use the example of the 19 Keys conversation, that, and I'm assuming that's what specifically what you're talking about, that there were individuals that watch that are getting something that are a part of the group, which makes the group better as long as it's benefiting the individuals. That'll make so. That's what that was. So what was the other side that you're saying that you was hearing where it's contradicting to that's talking about individual progress in the framework of like organizing on a not grassroots, but Black progress on a whole scale. So are you asking me that
I'm asking is it more important for the matter of fact, I'll just look, let me look. The exact question would be, who holds the power in Black progress? The individual or the collective?
I would say overall, for Black, it would be the collective, but the collective is built of individuals. So unless the individuals change, the collective is not going to change.
Yeah.
So individual progress then that impacts the collective. I don't see how you would say that.
So it's like, and
not speak about like organizing for the collective in general. But go ahead.
So in my opinion, I think it's both. I think both things can be true at the same time as it relates to this, right? So to say that me having an individual development, like going to therapy for myself, right?
Okay.
So that helps with the interactions that I have with everyone, right? And would you say that positively affects the community? So
I think it positively can impact your.
So that was a minute. I used that minute, very, very minute, just so that it was very, very individualistic, just to prove the point. So, but at the same time, if there is no community, there is actually like no group effort to bettering, because everybody ain't gonna be able to. Everybody ain't gonna be on the same page. There has to be a quote unquote code, if you will, based on how this. I'm not saying to use that, but there has to be a understanding of a this is just my opinion. There has to be an understanding of a collective goal in order to actually push it forward. So of course we need to be getting better as individuals, but there also has to be a collective goal that is, you know what I mean, that we're actually pushing to get to. So I think it's both things being true at the same time. I don't think that one, we're not going to just get a fucking better Black community without individuals being better,
like that's
and a plan to make our collective better as well.
Okay, go ahead, Johnny. I'll talk to you first.
Well, no, I think, I mean, when we talking about the collective, I think the individuals have to be better, but a lot of times what's necessary for the collective to be better is not just individual betterism, but like individual sacrifice. And I think if we're not willing to sacrifice as individuals
for the collective,
then no matter how good we get or how better we are, I don't think it's going to matter, because it's like, it's the thing with like what they talk about, like what Meta wanted to do with like keep us all in these little bubbles. As far as like technology and doing that. So I think like the collective is always way more important, and especially when we're talking about being better. The individual, you can be better. That's your own responsibility. They ain't got nothing to do with the collective. Your responsibility to the collective
It's the sacrifice.
Is the sacrifice that you're going to make, and the
fuck with
sacrifice that you're willing to make.
For sure.
And so I think when it comes to code, I think code needs to be just how much are we all willing to sacrifice?
Big fact.
And let's all just agree on a baseline of sacrifice. And then I think that was what makes the community better, not just individually being better. Because if I make $10 million and I don't give nothing to nobody, and I just take it and we go here and we move to that neighborhood, how does that make the community better?
Right.
Even though I'm way better, but if I make $1 million and I say, hey, I'll sacrifice 500,000 to build this community center, and then you make 10 million and you put your 500,000, the sacrifice isn't a lot on each person, but it goes a long way for the community. And I think that's what we need to, kind of focus on. But collective, if we on these platforms, the collective always important. We could go back and be good individually. We was doing fine individually before we got here. We come into these type of platforms to sacrifice for the community, to be a little vulnerable for our community. Right. Hey, this is my issue that I have with the Black community. It ain't easy to come up here and talk bad about the Black community in front of mostly Black people, and you know, so the sacrifice is what makes the community, and the willingness and how much we're willing to sacrifice.
That was beautiful. I love that.
Yeah, I like that, Johnny. I'm still lost on where the discrepancy was at.
On what?
On like how this conversation,
because it's not just about being better as an individual.
So in essence, Johnny hit on like more or less like let me see how I can put it, the side that y'all typically side on, where I thought that, and I think that the individual, like typically I take the approach that y'all are taking, which is the fact that the individual builds the community, and so individual progress and doing things that's inside the interest of the individual for progress is beneficial in the general community as a whole. And that in itself is what leads to Black progress, in which Johnny is speaking a little bit more closer to the idea of like collective consciousness and the collective in doing all things where you're sacrificing interest for self for the community is what is more beneficial. And again, like I think that either one is cool. I think last week, to me, where the like the interesting divide came at, and again, there's a bunch of different pieces that we could unpack to it. Like to me, I just was thinking that, again, I don't even ascribe to it, but to me, anybody that amasses a large enough following of people that is promoting Black progression, I just think that if you have a large following, it should be some version of a collective solution that you're pushing because you have so many people that follow you.
I see what you're saying. As far as if not, it feels like you're exploiting the community.
Yeah, if they're paying for shit, then it sounds like a subscription.
I think it kind of depends on like how you measure beneficial. I think that's kind of what it is. Like,
I think we're talking about like just general Black progress. Like if we're just lifting all boats to raise the tide,
right?
Lifting the tide to raise the boats, whichever the saying.
Right.
Is.
So like even the 19 Keys example, I think that he's being beneficial in on an individual level, right? Where you're helping everyone that's watching and tuning in create their best self. Right. If you're doing that, that's also if you believe that the individual is a part of the collective, and as the individual gets better, so does the collective. Then you see what I'm saying?
No, so I agree with the 19 Keys thing when it comes to generally how it works.
Mm-hmm.
But he's saying, I guess, like he doesn't have any way to express anything for the collective.
Not necessarily that. I think that let me see if I can kind of frame it the proper way. Like it splits, in my opinion. Like, so again, my opinion and what I think that people with a platform should be doing are different. My version that I've articulated a bunch of different times here doesn't deal with having to ascribe to a specific person say anything. I think that it's fairly cut and dry. But I also think that with people that have great power, i.e. like amass a big amount of people, I think that you should do something productive with it if you're doing it in the words of Black progress. That's my main thing. So if you do have a big following that looks at you to lead them in a way, inside whatever way. They're speaking specifically about like media, black media personalities. If you've amassed something, I think that it will be beneficial. And I think that it'd be good for us to hold those people inside these spaces accountable for whatever sector that you're in. Like, so for Earn Your Leisure, I think they try and do like the thing where they throw little things out for people and lead a road to I guess self-sufficiency and generational wealth XYZ for financial freedom. That's the word I'm looking for black people, where they have their sector they're talking shit in, and then they have like a solution plan that goes down the line of what they're thinking and saying. I think that is fairly beneficial if all of our black progress advocates, if you've amassed a big enough audience, that you should be doing that. This is isolated from even what like I believe, but I think that if you got enough sheep, at least lead them somewhere. And that's my opinion.
And then I think that you had some specific smoke for me off of that too. I heard you were quoting.
Oh no. No. Like I said, and
you said it on Unpack too.
Yeah, I did say no. But it all comes down to this. I wanted to address like like it's a bunch of different things. I put it in there as well. As one of the points and rebuttals that I thought that was interesting. And where, when we speak about like detrimental ideologies, and like, again, I don't really like throw out different like terms of different things like that. But to me, I just think that it's interesting in concept to be like to throw out derogatory terms for just saying, let's hold black people accountable. Right. And say that the people that amass a large enough following, that we should just at minimum hold them accountable. But then at the same time, if we say statements like black people in general, I don't know what you remember it closer to better than I would. They don't really want help. It just sounds good. To me, like that sounds like a completely negative cast on black people, the black community, and what we actually want. I don't believe that, but I think that's a. So
I want to add something to it.
Okay.
I think that everybody that's crying out doesn't want help. That's in general, not black people. This is just people in general. Everybody that's crying out don't want help. I think that when we want to talk about us specifically, I think that there's been many movements that we could have gotten on one accord on since the civil rights movement. There's been plenty of different things that have happened. Like we still trying to get niggas to spend money with black people. If niggas really wanted to do something, we are the ones holding ourselves up. So that's why I say it just sounds good. Like you know what I mean? For us to have to be lobbying for nigga, everybody put a dollar in there, $5 in there, and we rather be so pessimistic of losing $5 than possibly change something.
But it could be an issue of organization.
That's what I'm saying. We have an issue with so like the thing is like,
but they didn't go to like the people that amass like a bigger audience. But you can't put like that same concept on all black. I guarantee you.
No. I'm not saying all black people anything. Of course, we already know that all of anybody is not, that's not realistic.
You made the statement broad, but I imagine you probably were speaking about the majority. Even if you're speaking about the majority, using the example that you use, if we said black people, if everybody give $5, it can lead us to XYZ. I'm sure they would do it if it went to a black lobbyist that would push for a black agenda that helped us inside this exact way. I guarantee you that they would do it. But the issue ends up being that there's a lack of education, understanding of systems and how they work. Most people don't even really understand how politics work and like the system. But as well, there's a lack of organization to actually understand, if I put my money here, this is what I'm gonna do. But what also speaks to the fact that
it's the same
black people. Go ahead.
It's the same idea of like the person on the corner, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you won't give that person $1 because you saying that they may go and smoke the dollar.
I don't know. Explain how this relates to black people.
What I'm saying, what I'm talking about is just the psyche. It's the psyche of people. So it's the idea that like, well, the reasons that we haven't actually done the thing is because we actually don't do the thing. That's what I'm saying. So like,
it's not organized inside a man. Like if people said we have a black lobby, and if you put $5 here towards this black lobby, all black people.
We was just talking about Dr. Umar with the school. None of us in here have donated a fucking dollar.
Who's the person?
But we all want the progress too for the black boys. We all want all these things, but we're not doing our equal. And I'm saying R. So talking about me as well. We do not.
So,
that's a false. Like, I don't think that's true. Only because of everything he's done has been donation based.
What I'm saying is,
like, the thing is that like there's like segments in which everybody wants to see progress over time. So I don't think that it's incorrect to have skepticism until he gets past certain things. But to say that black people haven't,
got the bank too. With Killer Mike was pushing for the bank.
Okay,
I gave $20 and put it in there.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't use the bank because I understand they don't have the infrastructure yet, because that's just what it is. If you would have went to M&F Bank right there on Batersford Road, the worst part about their bank, and even the other black bank, I went and put $20 in both just to do the thing. I posted it on my it's still in. I don't use the bank because the infrastructure is not good. They don't have like the online telephone joint where you can, you know what I mean? You download the app. The app ain't is efficient. But the thing is, we ain't gonna have shit if we don't do shit. We've been complaining about shit for a long time. Like literally, we could have made just in Charlotte, bro. That credit union could have been crazy.
They go to individual sacrifice, like I was
individual
saying.
Sacrifice.
That's an organization. But to me, like to me, if like the complaint that you're making goes to what I was stating last week, where if you've amassed a large enough following, you should organize them in a way that is beneficial to solutions. And that's my only critique to anybody.
I get that. Your intent is and not just beneficial to your own personal
right.
profit.
Like if whoever, I don't love, let's just say we just use an example. We don't even want to throw names out.
I always say, black people don't need to move forward. We're the only race in America that needs to go back. You look at us prior to the 1964 civil rights movement. We had better stats than every race. In terms of
that's what he was saying.
You don't put that man in smoke. No, we'll have another.
We were better every single way. 1964 Civil Rights Act came,
and this
which was
I tried to use this like
going to be
last
implemented by
times
JFK
as well. Where
but it was
we just use Lyndon Johnson.
Yeah, Lyndon Johnson. He confirmed to have
let's see, Doug. We'll go with
Doug.
Doug in Charlotte, and we'll just use the example you use. Doug in Charlotte has now gotten 300,000 followers for his Black Progress movement, and people that listen to his live. That like he got like 3,000 to 4,000 people that listen to his live. They call in, they interact, they donate to him. Like they're active. They have active participants, right? And Doug is talking about Black progress and all the things that can be done inside the financial sector of Black progress in the city of Charlotte. I think that in that sector, it would make sense if you're talking about Black progress in the city of Charlotte, that let's just say the $5 example that you said, you would at least push for a solution that doesn't even hurt people, that can be beneficial to the community, like investing in $5 into that bank that you talked about on Beatty's Ford Road, MFG. That's what it is?
Mechanics and farmers.
Mechanics and
farmers.
And
another one too. But
yeah, just think, to me, I think that if you amass a large following for the reason of Black progress, I would love for there to be some version of manifestation of or push for a solution. And I think that when we get into the idea of why isn't this thing happening, it's organization. But if we're not pushing the people that have the biggest followings to help organize, then I think that we'll be stuck inside a vicious cycle of that.
I'm not saying that what you're saying has no merit, but I think it gets really, and I'm just speaking for possibly why it was taken the way it was. You also were saying that you don't actually watch the stuff. So like it's different to say like I'm subscribed. No, I'm saying you said you don't. I ain't say that you didn't never watch 19 Keys, but I'm talking about that you're like invested as they are, right? The guys that we were talking to, they're invested in following this guy to see like exactly what he's doing, or whoever the person may be. A person that's watching all of Dr. Umar's videos to make sure that he's on that cause. Like it would be hard for me to sit here and say that person's not doing the thing if I don't necessarily watch.
I don't want to go against my FBA brothers today, because I feel like last Wednesday I had a great middle ground where I thought it was like a mainly man movement in which like they ostracize women, but I found out that it was just a person that I was listening to, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, this is a whole nother version of this thing. But what I would say is that a part of what you're saying, I did go back and do the exact same research. I'm off work right now. I'm just chilling, just watching videos and doing shit. It wasn't too much different than what I said about very specific things that I spoke about. The one thing that I will concede, me and Trey had a long conversation. He laid out a plan, whether I agree with it or not. He said that this is a plan that a bunch of or that the FBA have agreed on when it comes down to like Black progress and getting reparations and shit like that. And if they got that, I can take that part away. I'm cool with like conceding that point, and that's good. But I don't think that like the other critiques was kind of the same critiques.
So do you think that they would be right in saying like? Do you think they would be right in saying like that? Like, first off, we in agreement that we don't actually know what the actual thing. Well, we're learning more about what the actual movement is trying to do. We're learning more about what the go. So just sitting talking to Trey and just asking Trey specific questions, that don't mean that we actually know what the fuck they doing. That's just
I believe that on both sides. More shit. I believe that's the same on both sides. I also would say that I did take about like, I don't know, like 7 hours and just went down.
Okay.
Tariq's most recent videos, and I have my own opinions, but again, I don't think that's important. Yeah. I will say like my opinion hasn't moved too much, and I can back it up with like different versions of things, but it's not important right now. Yeah, I think that I appreciate what Tariq has put forth inside the idea of pushing for Black consciousness from the Hidden Colors to right now. I would also say that even with the push for reparations, that is good. I don't think that I'm speaking from like in uninformed opinion when I speak about a lot of things though.
Well, I mean, but you just did that recently, right? You went through the 7 hours after we haven't been talking about that shit for like a long time.
What was the point that I make? All I asked was this. I said, you should have a solution, and if you have a solution, what is it? I didn't say these niggas don't have it, and I know they don't.
No, but all I asked before though, we not that day, but that's been I've heard that's something that you said before.
If anybody comes on, I ask them, what is it then? Anytime, like when y'all said 19 keys, I said they should have it, and if you don't, if you do, what is the solution? And I just kept asking, well, what is the solution? And then we got to like a very individualistic thing, which led to the community versus individual, where I'm at now, where I was like, oh shit, I didn't know y'all agree with me on the individual side of the game. That's fire.
Yeah, but I only said all that to say that like I can understand why they would be so first off, I think that we
because
let me find out what I need to know what the actual code. I need the code on paper because I done heard the motherfucker be switching them joints up and adding shit.
Oh yeah,
just added the white women the other day.
That's not on code.
It's actually not on code. I just learned it.
Hey, that's what I'm saying. So look, this is important for whoever it is that there needs to be something where somebody can figure out.
Then we just found out Black Thought is not like to me. It's hard to say that there's a code where we just had an episode there where we understood that consensus on Black Thought cannot exist.
But what I feel like
some of the strongest advocates are like opposed on like specific views.
But certain things that like I believe that there can be a code if there, you know what I mean? I believe that there can be a code. You can't try to act like you're gonna have someone monopolize Black thought. That ain't gonna work. But like you can still have a level of principle where we're gonna do this only here.
But the code, if that's the case, it has to be vague. It has to be like all encompassing. You can't have a very specific code, because not everybody's going to agree with all the tenets of the code. Like we have a,
but sometimes some shit ain't necessary to say though.
20-point plan. Niggas ain't going to agree with all 20 points versus if it's a 3-point plan. It's way easier to get niggas to agree with
3 points better be vague as hell.
Well, my thing is that like I don't know. See, this is we want to be so nuanced to where we ain't gonna get shit again.
Okay, so I was really
that's what we keep stunting because niggas do not want to get on the same page about nothing. I honestly,
that's a joke.
No, it's fine. At the end of the day, that's fine because like I still believe that. I believe that there's many of us that really want to continue to live the life that we're living, and we don't want to change. That's very, very, very normal.
Like black people in general don't. That's not what you were saying.
What I'm saying is that many of us, I think people in general, whether you want to throw black, white, I think people.
Well,
in
right
general,
now we're talking about black.
Well, I don't think it's so much about not wanting to change.
I think that black people would also like to continue to have their alcohol problems that have it. I think that they would like to continue to have their drug problems. Like, you know what I mean? We it sounds good.
So black people just want to continue living in squalor. What is it, squalor?
You can.
I'm asking you what you're saying. You said they want to.
They want some more shit to what I'm saying.
I know you said that alcohol problems. They're like.
I'm talking about in your individual life. If you really want to change those individual things, then you make an actual effort to do so. A lot of the times we say the thing and we don't do shit. And that's just not black people. That's just people in general.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think it's more so than people
don't want the help. Fire. I love this.
I think more so than people.
Not only because, my bad. Go ahead, Tom.
More so than people not wanting help or whatever. I do think people want help, but in order to get help, somebody always said like help insinuates that you're part of it. You're doing the work. So I think a lot of people don't really want to do the work, and they want somebody else to do the work for them.
One handout.
But see, the thing is that's impossible. If you need to change yourself, how the fuck is somebody gonna do that work for you? So it just sounds good. And like I said,
yeah.
So
collective help insinuate somebody else can.
No, I got you. So collective planning is unproductive.
Collective planning.
No, I don't think collective planning is unproductive. No.
How did you? Oh, all right.
No, well, it's about. It sounds like what you're talking about is individual empowerment, and it doesn't matter whether it's collectively planned or not. Your circumstance is a product of what you decide to do and not do within those circumstances. Whether that's drug addiction, whether that's your financial situation, whatever you would go down the line of, it's not important of whatever, like whether it's collectively planned or not. It's about individually what you get jazzed up.
And I guess part of my views could be skewed because how I look at things is on an individual basis. I have a foundation of what I look to be like my moral foundation. Mm-hmm. So I think without a moral foundation, like or anything like that, where it's like we're standing, or not even just morals, but standing on the same thing, living by the same like these rules are set in place. We don't do this. Like if there's not a thing that's like that, like, hey, black people don't do this thing or we don't do this thing. If there's not a thing that's like that, I think it's like almost impossible to really be on the same
the code. Like
the reason why Muslims, like whether you believe what they believe or not, but the reason they're able to be so organized is because overall within that culture, there's certain standards that you are expected to stand by. There are certain things you're expected to do. So there's a structure. But
when you say like Muslims in structure, like where are you talking about?
I'm talking about as far as like they believe in the Quran, so they know that there's a certain way.
So like, are you talking about like a specific Muslim society? Because like,
I'm not talking about a specific society. I'm just saying like overall,
like there's mad division inside.
Okay,
Muslim
so
culture.
even within the divisions, like if you go within these divisions, amongst their divisions within their organizations, they are serious about what they do. Like it's a foundational thing. Of,
you don't think the same about Christians?
Devoutness.
No,
it's a different level of devoutness. That's the word you're looking for.
Yeah, like they actually like the one thing I do believe is they really believe in Allah and having a relationship with Allah. Black people, I mean not black people, but Christians can be sitting there stuck up in the doggone thing of, for one, they say they believe in the Bible, and a lot of Christians don't read nothing that's in the Bible. A lot of churches,
but a lot of people a lot of Muslims don't read the whole Quran.
I would say they probably like if they're not reading the Quran and they're not doing it. But overall, I do see that that's a thing, like within their culture, that they adhere to these certain.
And they got
things.
Their prayers, the multiple prayers a day.
Right. But like all Muslims, and I know Nation of Islam don't even like necessarily like push the fact that you have to, like makes a lot, like you don't have to do that. Mm-hmm. Like that's not, and the consistency, if you know, and just like there's what is it, Orthodox, non-Orthodox, Muslims, like there's certain sects that are big on doing that. Mm-hmm. But my thing is that even when we get into like Sharia law and shit like that, and the interpretation and how to rule and how all of these different like organizations come, like it's all based off of interpretations, misinterpretations of the Quran and how they believe that it should be lived in comparison to what all of the people inside that country believe. And that's where you have, you know what I mean? Like, what is it? Whatever the newest terrorist group is, taking back over whatever
So put it like this though: whether it's a good thing or
ISIS,
bad,
that's what I'm thinking about.
Whether it's a good group or a bad group or whatever.
But what I'm saying is not like consensus. Like
Here
you
what
have
I'm
the,
saying,
you have
it's
the
not
extremists that still come in and reign a different version of Sharia law on the entire public.
But is that the majority of the thing that you see? That's what I'm saying. And then on top, like this is my whole point. My whole point is this though. My whole point is this, regardless of any of this, because these are just like nuances. But my whole point is this: in order to have a group to be organized on something, you have to have a foundation. If there's no foundation that you're standing on of solid rules, whether that rule is we all killers or whether that rule is we don't kill or whatever, like that's just giving examples that like what no matter what the rules is, if people in the group don't stand on it, it's not.
What would be some examples of people in America that exercise that? And I guess like even like I guess the easiest one that people probably I just want to hear your examples actually.
Ask that a question again.
Like so, all right. So to me, when I think about America, I think America has almost consistently been founded on different versions of the vision of thought from similar people. When you go to like the Pilgrims coming over here and like the division of thought from mainland England, when you talk about the Civil War and what came from that, you talk about all the different social movements that have happened. A lot of times, in the majority of the times, until we get to like the civil rights, I guess you would say, it's very similar people that have completely different. Even our literal political system is completely opposite sides of the aisle from the exact same people from the exact same places.
Okay, I kind of got lost there, honestly.
I'm asking, what are the examples of people in America that have this code that you're talking about and exercise it on a grand scale that we can use as examples?
Well, I can say the Hispanics around where I see them,
but that's not true. Like
they don't got a code.
I don't think
they all stand by.
But I think that I can name like 7 famous Jews. Like you can go from John Stewart to like it's so many of them that have well,
hold on. There's not going to be a community that doesn't have a person or people that don't stand with the whole majority. There's
no. But what I'm saying is that I don't think it's even like super consensus. Like the loudest people against Israel are Jewish people.
They both cold as hell though. A lot of
that's not true. The Orthodox Jews are fucking non-Israeli.
I mean, are you talking about Israeli or are you talking about Jewish people?
No, like that's two separate things. But if we're talking about Jewish people, Jews,
that's outside of the state of Israel. A lot of
there's a bunch of them that say anything you say about Israel is anti-Semitic. There's a whole big bullshit
though. That's bullshit because
now we're getting
separate.
But we're getting into our own opinions. My point is the fact that they're not a majority. What I will say is that they do have a bunch of money inside a very specific space, and they yield power from the ADL.
That's a code. That's a code that comes from the ADL. And they got specific standard operating procedure.
But
when it comes, even if you call it, what they did to Kyrie and Kanye, that wasn't standard operating procedure of the Jewish community.
But now let's talk about it. No, that sounds cool. But what I'm saying is that what the collective have agreed on, or is it the fact that whoever they is, like the Jewish people have had a concerted amount of power? Like when we talk about who donates to AIPAC,
but where's the code?
That's not.
Where's the code gonna come from? Even from black people, is it not gonna come from the richest black people?
So right now we're talking about regular black people agreeing on some shit, in which that's not what the Jewish people did.
Well,
that's the point that I'm making. What I'm saying is the fact that they
I'll give you that. It's different, but there is a code that goes with.
They have an organization that handles all their grievances. The people don't even really necessarily agree. That's the point that I'm saying.
Okay,
they actually have a powerful organization that does that.
Well,
the organization is the code. So if we're talking about like a code, it seems like
NAACP should have been right.
I can agree with that.
That wasn't invented by us.
Yeah, no, that's why supposed to be and put up the quotes. But I like I say, I always talk about the Hispanic population. I'm right there with them, and then even the line of work that I'm in, I see like that they consistently do certain things. Like they're going to buy. They're going to pay the extra $2 to buy it from where they want to buy it from, which is with their own, and not run to get it cheaper. I see that all the time. They're going to get out and shoot. Even if the women don't have jobs, they out asking for money on the street Like they have and even when you go and work with them and they doing the job, right? So I'll be out there and they'll be doing the job. You never can point out the lazy motherfucker, the nigga that's trying to get off. Because we'll get stuck in like comparing how much work you doing Mexicans. To how much. No, I'm not. I ain't saying that there aren't any lazy Mexicans. That's not the point I was making. What I'm saying is that it's the infighting part is not as serious with them because they, like literally, you can see that like I would be trying to figure out why you ain't doing as much work as I'm doing, and it was like you can clearly see the motherfucker that's trying to slack.
I guess
what I see consistently is that like they're going to like do what needs to be done when we're at the job, like, and they're gonna get it done fairly. You know what I mean? They're just trying to we're just gonna get the fucking job done as quickly as possible.
I understand that, and I think that that's a good like. I guess the preference I make would be, I personally don't really know like the inner workings and the nuances of like the Hispanic community. From what I see, I do think that it relates closely to what you're saying. But I also would say is that when it comes down to like all the metrics, whether you're talking about like income, wealth, XYZ, they're still inside like that same spot with us, in which I can't say that has worked. And
give it a second. I'm literally watching this. I'm watching this shit. Like,
I get that. What I'm also saying, like, I have seen this exact same thing for the past at least 25 years. Yeah.
What's that?
Like Hispanics working together inside very similar factions.
You ever been seeing their ownership going up within the last 5 years?
All I'm saying is that
hold up. I think one thing we got to talk when we talk about Hispanics, we try to lump them all into one group.
Yes, man.
They're very nationalistic. Yep. Where like the Colombians are going to come over here and work. The Venezuelans, they don't like. None of them really fuck with Mexicans like that. Like, and so like we try to make it seem like it's all one group, but a lot of time.
That's also a really big.
That's a really big. About the diaspora.
But a lot of time these Hispanics come over and they're all related, and they just all like a Colombian family. Or anyway, it ain't even as big of a community as we try to make it seem like they're all working together. No, it's a bunch of cousins, and it's a big ass family that's like working together.
Come to the hood behind me. Let's ride to the hood in just a little bit.
Juan and Pablo, they all related.
Let's see how many of the goddamn gas stations they own on North Tryon now. How many of the fucking I don't know if they actually
the Woodlawn on that side,
or even like Eastway, any of that. The ownership, bro. And I'm not talking about just home ownership, which is going crazy right now that you can see. Like I believe that they're so close to us, we can learn a lot from them, and I think that's what we can capitalize on that shit. What y'all? What's up?
Oh yeah, yes.
Let's get the comments so we can get
being on code is not the same as getting along. Let's not forget that. I think that's a real. That's thing. Actually a perfect way to end it.
That's a good way. I think. You got to have a solid foundation. I still say though,
we ain't got to get along.
There has to be some foundation, whether you get along or not. There has to be certain
fuck y'all
things
niggas. Like let's get it.
Like I know, like like for example, just something within Black people. Like most Black people don't let their pets eat at the table. We don't do that.
Yeah, like that's crazy shit.
It's certain stuff
I don't know if that's like
it's good, crazy that we can come to code on that.
I think, but my point, and this is where I went to with that, like that first point would be, I don't even disagree with if it could be a code or if it should be a code. I don't know if like we can get on code because I think it's such a diversity of Black thought. But this is where if you've amassed a big enough group, at least get them on code to do something.
Create a code,
something.
Maybe not talk about what the code. Maybe not.
So basically, your problem with the So basically, let me your issue is more so that these people haven't activated their groups. Like as far as like
they haven't organized their groups.
Activated means to put them to use.
Sure. Like I think that whatever sector that you're in, if this is what you're pushing them towards in Black progress, I think that if you have a big enough audience, I think the accountability on you would be to activate them to do something positive.
I think that's a good
amen, brother.
I agree with that. I think that's a good note to leave it at there.
Y'all cool. Any I ain't even
shout out TBI another 5.
Hey, shout out TBI, Don P, Dave was in there earlier, Miss Sharon. Shout out the whole chat.
Next week we'll get back to the call-ins. We kind of ran over talking to each other.
Shout out the whole chat. Shout out if you still watching this, shout out to you. Before we get up out of here, we want to say hit the like button, leave us a comment. We appreciate it. Follow us on all social medias at the To Be Fair Show. We on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. I am your host, Johnny P.
Over here, real.
Johnny, next week we're gonna actually get to your question.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Okay.
You got I'm just saying we left you high and dry for 2 weeks, but again, it's cute. That's it.
And we will get to my question next week. We out.
On code mean not cooking collard greens in the damn